All right.
Turn on your mic.
No, let me turn the mic on. It's 7 o'clock. We'll call to order the meeting of the select board for the town of Bakersfield. First up on the consent agenda is previous minutes.
I will make the motion that we accept the previous minutes as recorded.
Any discussion or further notes on that?
No, but we should note that the recording is there, but however, we haven't been able to get the minutes produced, written, correct?
Are we talking from 2 weeks ago? You talking Wednesday?
Talking Wednesdays.
Wednesday was a budget meeting though,
That was
but,
the budget meeting.
and yes, to your point, you are accurate. We were able to get the written. However, the recorded for some reason wasn't in the cloud when we went out to it, even though we did record it.
This is the last big budget, okay?
Does that
So-
need to be noted?
Or we accept
Well,
both.
I guess you should note it.
We'll accept this will be voting, what we're voting on now will be on the previous regular select board meeting,
Which has been made and seconded.
which has been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We have 4-0,
0.
one absent. As far as the meeting minutes for the budget meeting held last Wednesday. Those minutes were not recorded, but were reported. Do we accept the minutes for that meeting?
If I may, they were recorded, but they're not available in the cloud. I can't find them in the cloud. We did record.
Yes.
They just,
They're
they're in the cloud somewhere.
They are reported as far as Tammy wrote
Right.
them down,
Correct,
which is what we are legally bound to do.
correct. And I'll make a motion
Go ahead, John.
to accept the last Wednesday's budget meeting minutes as presented.
Motion has been made and seconded to accept the budget meeting minutes from last Wednesday. All those in favor?
Yeah,
Any opposed? So passes 4-0. Finance, Tom?
Tom. You're up, Tom. Please remember to turn on the mic and state your name for the record.
Tom Jameson,
Thank you, sir.
and I'll be brief because I'm staying to the end for any of your budget stuff, so I'm gonna try and keep it short-winded, if that's a term. No. So a couple things, won't give you all the details, but remember the payment, the state payment that got sent to the wrong account and such from a while back that
Yep.
took a while for the state to fix it, but it all got revised. The state sent an updated correction to the two accounts that were affected.
Mhm.
And I did send a letter explaining everything along with copies of the original revised 2023 copy, the contact at the state, and probably 7 times in the letter mentioned that it was the state, not Bakersfield.
That may
And I
be,
figure up to them. I'll let you know if they just pay it, which I think if you looked at your property tax bill from 2023 and saw it was 2,000 and saw that this year was $796, you might have had a hint that something was off anyway. So, but I put in there 30 days. I think Tammy or Kathy said it's not delinquent because it wasn't their mistake. They paid the bill originally, and I'll just see if they pay it, and I'll let you know if they're delinquent or if we're all good.
okay.
W-2s, Vera probably would have had them out already, so hard act to follow in Vera, but I had to get additional security clearance through the Business Services Online IRS, though I had an ID account. They changed the way and added extra credentials that you need to be able to
Yeah.
file any wage information. So I sent in, hope I sent it to the right site, a photocopy of my driver's license and facial recognition. So I've got my personal ID that they then just are in the process. And I received a letter today saying they had sent the code to the town of Bakersfield, because even though I proved that I'm me, they don't know that I work at Bakersfield. So they mailed a code and I told Kathy to look for it, and so I think we're good. It's end of the month, those are due, and I'm optimistic that that code is on its way, and then I can, because they have to be filed electronically.
Yeah.
And I can't do that without being able to log in, so that should all be fine. And I already kind of touched on this, but you have that page 2 is what you're used to seeing in the old days, which is all
Mhm.
those internal accounts with all the 2024 information built in. And I, again, had hoped to just bring that in summary onto the front page where you have that empty space at the bottom. So for future reference, I thought that would be easier for you to look at. If you just wanted at a glance, that would kind of tell you what you're usually asking for, which is what's the balance in appraisal account or something like that. And I don't even know if you really need the monthly breakout, or is just a summary of starting balance, year-to-date receipts, expenses. Do you guys care about that? I was gonna check with the auditors, and the only reason I ask is it's a pretty quick report I can spit out from QuickBooks, just that the running year-to-date that I could plug into that front page. But if anyone, auditors or you folks, needed the monthly totals,
Nice to see what we do month after month.
what's that?
It's nice to see what we're spending month over month.
Yeah, no big deal. So that's an answer. And the last thing, well, 2 things. One, the very last page, I told you there was a report that I could print. It was just the payroll breakout. So you got on the regular report, you got your total wages and stuff. That's the breakout, that the total of that total gross pay here matches the total wages on your income expense. That's just kind of the total for the town. I didn't do it for the road, but I think the road's all pretty much one classification for the most part.
Mhm.
So that's just, if you need it, if you don't, doesn't matter. But that's available anytime you want it, where you just have all the payroll categories, I guess, if you will. That
Mhm,
makes sense?
mhm.
Yes, it does.
That's nice too.
And the final question. Do you want me at every budget meeting? Because I didn't really write it on my calendar last week and sort of spaced out. I can't blame it on the power, because I knew the power had come back on, even though I was halfway here when I got the notice that, well, there's not much you can do here because there's no power and the road's closed. So just for future this year or into other years, is that your wish,
good idea.
expectation? Because I'll just plan on that.
Unless otherwise noted, I would expect your presence at a budget meeting.
Okay, and that's really the answer, because
Yeah.
the first time you kind of reached out a week in advance to ask me,
Mhm.
and this time I probably should have asked, or would have asked that Wednesday, or Tammy would have told me, but
Yeah.
anyway, just this way.
We have one coming up
I'll
too.
know going forward that, like this meeting, you expect me to be at any and all budget meetings.
Yeah, when's next
Unless
budget meeting?
Unless otherwise noted,
Unless
yeah.
so I'll always check with you, and
Yes,
if
please.
I have an emergency or you do or something, so.
Did we schedule
I
one
will make that note.
It's tonight,
tonight?
yes.
I have a hair appointment.
And that's all
All
I
right.
had for now, though I was gonna just go
That
out
goes
and
all
work
the
on some
time.
stuff while you did other business, and then come back when you needed me.
Absolutely.
If
Tom,
that's-
thanks for getting the
Okay.
funds updated on the front, the balances, so we can see what's in the
I
account.
meant to have that earlier, just had to redesign reports a little differently than the ones that Vera had tabulating in the past, so.
No, it looks good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and I'll come back when you call me back.
Thank you, Tom.
I'll leave when you tell me I can leave.
Any others under the consent agenda?
No, I have none.
I told my family, don't expect me home before you're asleep.
So we'll move on to visitors. Mr. Talley. Ken Foster.
Paul Talley and Ken Foster.
I don't see Mr. Foster, so.
I think looks like it's still on. Just state your name for the record, please, once we're ready.
Oh, I've got that one here.
Go ahead, state your name, please.
Paul Talley?
Paul, thank you. So we're here to talk about the police contract overview. And Paul, can you just state what legal agency that you're representing for us? Or future legal representation?
Well, I don't know if I'm representing any specific agency. I currently work for the St. Albans Police Department as a lieutenant, and I've been there since 2006.
Excellent.
So 18 years experience.
Thank
I'm not here, I'm here as a citizen with law enforcement experience to discuss the contract. I'm not representing.
Yep.
St. Albans.
Thank you. No, that's excellent. Which contracts do you have in front of you that we're discussing?
The one that I was given was contract made by, and it looks like it's a blank one or a cookie
Yeah.
cutter of contract made by and between the law enforcement agency and the town of Bakersfield. It's appears it's a 3-page.
Three-pager.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So it's I'm not sure where you want to begin with it. It's pretty general, which should be. I think at the citizens, I mean, I do know that they approved the measure to
Mhm.
X amount of money to contract with law enforcement. So I think it's up to us to figure out what it is that we want this contract to do.
I guess what we're looking for, Paul. You have 18 years of experience. We don't. So we're looking for your blunt opinion on what, please. Be blunt. Your blunt opinion on what is good and what is bad about this contract so that we can make some changes in it if necessary. That will accomplish what we need.
What is it that you need? So, and I go with that because, and I have some notes here.
That's fair.
If we want traffic enforcement, because we want the 108 north and 108 south slowed down with here, right here in the little village here, then, you know, having somebody work at 2 a.m. is not the ideal time. But if we want prime deterrence and we want to stop people from breaking in, well, then we probably don't want them here during daylight hours when the businesses are open and everybody's out and about. We probably want them here at night.
I think what we need is a little bit of both,
Right.
and that's the problem. How do we handle both?
You could write it in there saying maybe 2 days a week, your hours are this. Make it random because anybody who is a bad actor is going to learn the schedule and, oh,
Right.
they're here tonight, I'll come back tomorrow. And it will be the same. The traffic will be a little bit easier. The ones who live here will figure out when they're here and the word will get around. But it's the people who transition from south of the town up to the north, Enosburg or something, or vice versa, that will be caught off guard with any traffic enforcement if that's the goal there too. So don't be predictable. Leave some verbiage in there that it will vary. Not all shifts will be at this time. Not all shifts will be over here. But you have varying times. I would spell it out. But leave it open-ended to be discussed in the future, because again, they're gonna learn the habits, and if look, everybody knows VSP goes home at 2 a.m, so the interstate's wide open from 2 until 7 a.m. to get from point A to point B. So they're gonna learn that. So if you can vary that, it'll be harder for them to learn.
It was closer to 8. I never saw them in the morning, so.
It's you know, at first look on this, I guess the first thing I would go to that I had written down was on number 5. Whoever the contract is with, I would want to make sure that we're getting our money's worth. So request some radio logs to accompany the statements that they're sending with the bills. But corroborates the justification of that bill. And maybe include a lot of agencies have court time. Now I certainly, like, if I was doing contracts here and there and I'm looking at billing, well, if I have this officer that's got to go to court because of an arrest they made in Bakersfield for a traffic case, well, who's paying for that court time? Should be billed to the town. So that would be something that you'd want to consider. I think a 4-hour call out, at least for our agency, is what we get. And I think that's what is pretty standard. So that would diminish
the overall
budget time that they're here, because criminal cases create work. And it costs them. So something like that, is there just so we can make sure we are getting our money's worth. None of this, oh, we're gonna be undercover, you're not gonna know we're there. No, I want, if I'm paying for it, I wanna know when we're here.
Right.
And then number 8. The big thing in the state right now is traffic race data collection. So information to obtain in the report, bi-weekly may be doable on some things, but that is, it could be a heavy lift or a burden for the department to do that every bi-weekly. So, a monthly or quarterly, could be good. But I would say, to add, it's not just criminal citations, it's, any paperwork service. It could be a restraining orders that were served, the court calls it sexual assault or restraining or sexual assault. It's one piece of paper, same thing.
Well, our first term of the police department will be experimental, so we're gonna want as much information as we can. It may not, our first contract may not last longer than a quarter, so I would push for at least monthly.
It's however you want. I mean, how many hours? If you're
After
doing,
that, it could change.
Yeah,
If
5
we
hours.
decide to go on.
if you're doing 5 hours a week or something, then bi-weekly is probably very feasible. But if it's something like a 40-hour week, that's going to get a lot of out of track.
Understood.
So you have the criminal citation, juvenile summons, any restraining orders, stuff like that.
You say all activity?
Yeah, we're not talking Burlington or St. Albans here, so it's not gonna be a heavy lift. It's just gonna be for a smaller department that has other obligations that might be a little bit heavier. But I would also include in there, since you put in there traffic citations. I would word something like, traffic stop data in accordance with Title 20, Vermont statutes annotated 2366. Except this information shall be provided however often you want it. So that law says that we have to request, or we have to track the race data, reasons for stop, if a search was done, what was the outcome of the search, the race, the age, the sex of the occupant of that vehicle.
Okay.
The law says we have to provide it to the state annually. So if this is data that should be good, I mean, if you're going to request monthly, then maybe get that information monthly. And that will give you more data, like, oh, well, you only did one traffic stop, but you were here for 10 hours. What were you doing? If you wanted to have that discussion. The next thing to consider to put into this, and it all depends on who you're going to contract or who you end up contracting with, it would be, if I arrest somebody, where am I processing them? The sheriffs have an outpost at the fire and ambulance station in Enosburg. BSP would obviously take them back to St. Albans. If you did Lamoille County, where would they go? If they're the ones that are patrolling. So to consider that, because that's all time spent under the contract, just not right here in the village or the town. And I'll be honest, I'm not familiar with it, but if you don't have, create some town road ordinances so that the officers can enforce those roads based on the town ordinance. And no officers write tickets for revenue. We don't have a quota. We don't sit there and say, oh, well, I need to make X amount of money or anything like that. But ticket writing comes with revenue, or what comes back with fines, and those fines are revenue for something. It just goes into the general fund. If you have a town ordinance, a good portion of that money can come back to the town versus going right down to the street, to the state, not the street, sorry. So, almost the same penalties, and I think it's just it's coming back and helping the town.
Okay.
Would be something I would consider. So, and it's
Next.
hey, this speed limit on this road is the speed. But then you also have to put up signs if it's not gonna be 50, so.
Right.
Stop signs at this intersection here, hey, well, you already have them. You have to stop here, they get caught not stopping there, too. So, those were the quick little notes I had for what I.
So
thought.
it's assumed that unless otherwise posted, the speed limit is 50, correct?
Yeah, I think that actually says it in the driver's manuals.
Okay.
It's an
You teach
unposted road.
drivers that at BFA, so. It does.
Excellent. Well, I think they're all good suggestions.
Very good.
That's where this came from, this boilerplate.
Yeah, it's,
It was a quick and dirty that I borrowed from another town.
turn your mic.
That it was written for my, primarily with sheriff department in mind, and I tried to smooth it so it would open any agency.
I'm sure hers is picking
Because
it up.
there's certain things in the sheriff's contract has to happen based on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hers was on, I was talking to her.
Yeah. Well, I think hers will pick it up, but. Excellent.
Good.
Yeah, I thought, Todd, honestly, I think this is a real good starting point, honestly.
That's what it was intended for.
Yeah.
And then Ken did give us a few other ones in here. He also gave us an information sheet on some grants that might be available. So I think it's something we can give to our grant writer, have him look at
Absolutely.
and see if it might even
Absolutely.
help us, get a few more funds out there.
Maybe that'll help us
Federal
extend.
grants.
Yeah, because we don't, the townspeople agreed on a fixed amount. It's not a ton of money and, it's only, what do we figure the hours would go almost? forget how many hours
I
we
think
thought it was
20
like.
hours a week.
Yeah,
What
For a
we're
quarter?
Looking to start with,
like a quarter.
for at least a quarter.
And we know that we're gonna pay for the travel in. We want to pay travel only one way,
Yeah,
either in or out, take your choice.
Want to
And-
write that too.
Yeah, we need that in the contract that it's travels one way.
And 20 hours, and so it's really all going to depend on what the contract rate is.
Right, exactly,
Yes.
exactly. And go ahead, I'm
We had
sorry.
information from the Franklin County Sheriff's Department. And we based our estimate for a quarter on that amount. And we thought that we should be able to get 20 hours a week out of that amount. And that depends on who
Hourly
we're
rate.
dealing with.
Mhm.
Hourly rate that they're charging us. Yeah, that makes a big difference.
I don't know now, but
No.
it's just keep in mind too, those criminal court proceedings and stuff like that will come and eat into those hours.
Yeah.
We hadn't
Well, that was-
considered that.
that
That's a
is
very
one
good point that you
yeah.
brought up. Thank you.
Yeah, even someone fighting a traffic ticket,
Yes.
because you could sit there hours.
It's actually gotten a lot better. It's no longer, if somebody requests that it's in person, then traffic court will be in person, but generally speaking, that it's not now. It's all via WebEx is what we call
Nice.
it. And they give you a 30-minute block and they only schedule about 6-8 people during that 30-minute block. So it's pretty quick.
Pretty
We need to
good.
get pulled over for a refresher course, I guess.
There you go.
I will be leaving my house at around 3:45 in the morning.
There you go.
Want to speed down the road?
Right.
Want to shoot down 36 real quick? Crazy.
So, but that would still be. If you go with someplace that's union, it's a
Right.
4-hour call
Right,
Yeah,
Right.
That's 4 hours for 15 minutes worth of work that.
right.
right.
that's going on.
So we need to make sure we note something in there.
Yeah, if you come to the mic.
You come to the mic and sit down. You can just sit next to him.
State your name, your record.
From the emergency services side, Todd may have talked about this, but in the contract, should we have, if there is an emergency call where traffic control is needed, or from a first response standpoint, where we might need some security, would that want to be built into the contract, or would that be understood, or is it a possibility?
So I think what we originally had discussed was, if there's a call for emergency, for instance, you have an emergency service that you need,
Yeah.
that would go out normally, and if we need to, we could tap into this, but I don't think we were getting it from this originally.
The Franklin County Sheriff's Department representative stated that if there was an officer on duty, that he would be obligated to respond to
Right.
a call
Okay.
while he was on duty here, but you'd have to go through normal channels if he was not on duty here.
Right.
Right. And that's what I was kind of thinking was if they're on duty here, then
They would, they
those
would,
hours that are dedicated in the contract
Yes,
could suffice where they could respond.
yes.
Right. Right. It's just if they're not here during that time frame, then you would go your normal route that you always do.
So you need to comment on that.
Well, I just wanted to make sure, but while they're on duty for our contract, they
Yes.
will
Correct.
respond.
Right.
Correct.
That's what we need, but
Right.
they're home sleeping, they're not.
They don't.
they're not-
Absolutely, yeah, we
Correct.
understand that, yeah.
right.
Right.
Um,
Then it's the normal means.
Certainly sit there and say, hey, we have our Fourth of July celebration, we would like the
Correct.
officer, deputy, whoever it is.
Yep.
To
Be here.
Be here for the fireworks.
And that would be good PR too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's, and that's one of the things we were, the discussions we had with the sheriff's department was, when he came up and spoke to us, they stated that, we could choose hours in the day. It was just, this is how many hours you want to spend a week. Something tragic happens at the beginning of the week, we may burn all the hours on a Monday or a Tuesday,
Yeah.
but it's fluid, and that he would rotate those hours so that, as you said, so that people couldn't get used to when to expect. And we initially had requested, we're looking to cover almost a good chunk of the hours in a day by way of just, today you're here at 8 a.m., tomorrow you're here at 5, the next day you're here at 10 p.m., that kind of thing. Just to ensure that, we're covering, because it's not only the speed on Main Street that's the problem, as we all know. And I think in more than a few cases, in many cases, the voters voted because we're concerned of what's happening when the sun goes down.
Right.
I mean, the speeding's a nuisance, and we're afraid someone's going to get hurt. That's obvious. But all this activity that happens when the sun goes down is why I think the voters voted yes this time.
Mhm.
I would agree. The last tidbit to add on this is to, if it matters, is what level of certification you want the officer to be.
That's a good point, yeah. Yep.
We have level 2 and level 3. Level 2 is restricted on what they can do. A level 3 can do everything.
So would it be a different hourly rate for an officer or a deputy, depending on their certification, or are we gonna get billed the same?
Depends on the individual agency that you go through.
Okay.
Potentially could be. I mean, you're
I'm sure the burden rate would go up based on their hourly salary and then all the benefits added into it, so.
if the agency broke it down that way.
Right.
then
Right.
My agency would just do one rate, this is one of those.
Could you explain the difference between a level 1 and level 2, please?
2 and 3,
Level 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Okay.
It is specifically spelled out on the Vermont Criminal Justice Council's website. So I'm not looking at it, so I'm making it wrong, but essentially, level 1s are restricted to, there may be some things that they can do, but traffic details sitting on the side of the road, prisoner transports, stuff like that. The level 2s can start doing some criminal investigation, but it's really more of misdemeanor stuff.
Mhm.
Any felonies, there might be a couple felonies they can do, but essentially the felonies, anything that's raised to a felony, they'd have to, they would not be able to investigate, they'd have to hand it off to a level 3. And then a level 3 has, level 2 has gone to the academy for 2 weeks
Right.
and learned by fire hose.
Mhm.
Level 3 has gone the entire 17 weeks
Yeah.
and
Wow. That's a big difference between time at the academy. Holy smokes.
Yeah, there's a lot of, there's level twos out there. Level two officers and deputies out there, it's just what by law they're restricted on what they can and cannot do.
Interesting. That's good information.
I was unaware of that.
Really helpful, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much for volunteering your time tonight.
Yes.
It's been extremely helpful.
Need more information, let me know, something else you can do, if we're not.
Thank you so much. Have a great night.
Very much.
Careful out there. I got that Hill Street Blues. He's getting up at 3:45. He's going to see if he can outrun you. It's on the road. And we're not talking on his replaced knee. We're not talking about his replaced knee. It's going to be on his John Deere. You have Carolyn, who seems to need to get off. She left a message on the machine. Look up.
Where is she? She says, Carolyn. Are you there? Can you unmute yourself?
Yes, I'm here. Hi.
You indicated that your time is short.
Um, I'm not sure that, I think we're all set. We've got our report ready to send. I think we already talked to you about our request for the Conservation Reserve Fund to go into the warning. And so I really feel like, unless you have some questions for us or me,
Do we have your report, Carolyn?
not yet.
We
But-
have to have, we needed it,
We needed it.
we needed it tonight, but how
Okay.
soon can you get it to us?
I can get it to you in 5 minutes.
Perfect.
Perfect.
That's
If
what we
you,
need.
I need to go up to my other computer and I will, I'll send that in, and I assume you need the Tupper Fund, information as well.
Absolutely not.
Nope.
The Tupper Fund is entirely separate.
Okay,
Unless you requested something in the budget on it.
No,
No.
the Tupper Fund is under the trustees of public funds, and it is separate from the budget.
Okay.
yeah, we're
So all
just,
we need for
yeah,
DCC.
just, okay.
Can
So-
you? I'm sorry, go ahead.
So you're saying you need the end of the year report tonight?
For the Bakersfield Conservation Commission only, yes.
And
Yeah.
what you're asking for budget for 2025, that's going to town meeting day, we need tonight. Do you have that?
I will send it again. I already sent it in, I think, but, I'll send it in again.
Okay. Do you want to shoot that off to,
Hang on, we may have it. If she's already said it, we may have it.
No, just talking the end of your report I was talking about.
Right on top.
Right on top. Yep.
Yeah.
We got it. We're good.
We have the budget request, but did you send the end of year report yet? You haven't?
No, I'm gonna go upstairs to the other computer and send it in
Right.
5 minutes.
Okay.
Should I send it,
Town clerk?
should I send it to Tammy?
Yes.
Send it to Tammy. She can print it out for us. Thank you so much.
Okay,
Perfect.
very good.
We'll look
Thank you,
for it.
Carol.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay,
Just let us know when you shoot it off.
yep.
You good for me to call Paul? Paul?
Mr. Stanley.
Paul Stanley Esquire.
Paul Stanley, President of Bakersfield. And just wanted to, I understand that the MRBA request is
It is in that envelope right here.
MRBA.
The Cisco Valley.
River Basin.
River Basin, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be looking at that in the budget part.
The request is for $600
Mhm.
and the report to go into the town report is in the same document.
Okay.
as The request. You see it, Nikki?
Yeah, that needs it.
We got a lot of them, huh? We have a lot of them. Let me put in the
Well,
proper
Nikki
English.
is For that.
4th of July.
Wanted to talk about the 4th of July. Todd had stated that, the same amount was put in for that event at $4,000, same amount as last year. Just wondering if that is in the mix.
What do you think we should put in for it? How much?
I think the same amount will work.
Oh, we'll take your letter. You got. Let's see, I know we got.
Right.
I don't even see the 4th of July.
The amount is $4,000. And I believe that the portalets were done separately, or was that out of the same fund?
I think town of Bakersfield paid for the
Portalets.
handicap for the last
Right,
year.
just a handicap, yeah.
Okay, okay. So,
The library is picking up portion two. So they're-
I think that was because we have the other one that's already on there.
That's the one, we
Right.
split that one
Do we-
between the town and the library and
right,
the store.
so we had two last year.
Mhm.
And I think we would want to do two again. We didn't get a handicap. They didn't have any,
Right.
so we got two
Right.
regular. Right,
Can we reserve early this year, Paul?
yes, I'll get on that. So, if we want to proceed with that, we'll start making the contacts.
Okay.
Okay.
I think our thought process was, didn't we say 4,000, but they still, if it went up, because we had 1,200 still in from last year. If you look on page 2, 4th of July fireworks, bottom row, middle. From the report Tom gave us, 1,226.77. So if we refunded that with 4,000, that should be able to
Oh,
cover what we
yes.
need,
Yeah, okay.
right?
That would
Wasn't
be
that
great.
what we said?
Yeah. it was 14.
This is what's as of January 1st. Right,
Thousand in there, paid for the handicap.
out of there.
Yeah,
That should cover everything.
yes,
I think so with the money that's in there in 4,000.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
okay. And
believe so.
another question is Dave Stetson. Do we want to go ahead and ask him for town meeting? Again?
Oh, for the sound system, we're gonna,
Had we've got
Where is that?
425 balance in there.
where is that?
It's right next to the 4th of July.
Oh, I was trying to find the other line item. in
Yeah.
there. Public system announcement system.
You get two.
How much is he charging this year? Do we know?
He has been charging, I think, around 200.
Yeah,
Per event?
that's correct.
So 400,
We got plenty of good money left for that.
right there. I don't have the markup sheet that we did the other day. I just want to make sure we address
I
that.
don't think we covered that one.
We didn't talk about.
Yeah, fireworks annual, 4th of July, 4,000. It's on page, it's on the third page in at the bottom is what he has here for the 4th of July. I found that one finally. But yeah, we're gonna need to budget that in there as well for the scene. That's the remaining balance right now.
Yeah.
Right,
That should
covered.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Okay,
Do we want to put a little extra to it just in case it goes up? I think we should.
throw in a couple on.
Yeah, I think we should just in case.
okay.
So you're gonna mark that down? 200, I'll say.
So I'll contact Dave for town meeting
Town meeting day,
and,
4th of July.
okay,
Yeah, I think we're gonna need it for town meeting day. I do have a booming voice, but that doesn't mean much.
No, but it's nice to have it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
To make sure that we have an aging community and a lot of us
Yeah.
can't hear as well as we used to.
Right.
I can keep in touch with you, John, night before.
yeah, same thing. Yeah, we'll come in, I'll open up the place so he can set up like we have done the last few years. 2, 3 years, whatever it was.
And the last one that I wanted to review, was Brigham Academy. Right, so just wanted to refer to a group that we had in place. I've got the minutes of our last meeting here, Friends of the Brigham Academy.
Oh, yeah.
And that group, disbanded. And it was pretty much felt that we weren't making much progress, and it was handed off to the select board to make decisions.
I can understand how they feel, Paul, it's tough. sledding.
Yeah, oh, exactly. So, what I wanted to do is get rid of this $21 that's been
Sitting in the bank.
2015.
There's one other thing.
That's exactly what I thought it could go for. Maybe the screws in the plywood. So this was gathered from one of the Homeland days that we had, and we had a table out for donations for Brigham Academy. And we ended up with $21. And I figured that with the activity that's come about with Brigham Academy, that we're gonna turn this over to the town.
Yeah, that would be wonderful. Do we just want him to give it to Tom?
Well, we'll give it to Tom and instructions to add it to the Brigham expense fund. Yep.
Okay. I can put
Perfect.
that on.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Very good.
Have a great night.
Brigham.
I'll talk to you. You got my number still, right? All right, I'll talk to you in a couple months, month and a half, whatever it is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Paul.
No Heather.
No Heather.
Do you know what Heather wanted with the ZBA? I'm looking at my other ZBA member.
You're caught in the middle here.
About our options as a.
Organization. Yeah. So
Disband the.
She has done a lot of research, so she knows what we can and can't do.
right.
And I wouldn't want to try and
No.
explain what she explained briefly to us the other night.
Okay,
Yeah.
so just make sure she's here for the next meeting.
Yeah, I don't think it's an urgent thing. We've got
No.
a hearing on the.
Yeah.
In about a week and a half, something like that. Yeah.
So-
Oh, like, no, I think we had to put it out to the 20. Yeah.
Time to look at the best way to.
Okay.
Why do I think it's the 28th, the other meeting?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I think it's the 28th.
Well, as long as you can zoom in, that's just as good.
We did use use the lawyer. He was on site this week for this last meeting.
Good.
Yeah, it was. He's got a lot of information. It's a little difficult for folks
Was
who
that Mr. Gahn?
that was. You know, I don't have it in my calendar. We'll have to ask Tammy what the day is. Maybe she wrote it down. I'm almost positive it's the 28th because we couldn't do it the 27th because we're meeting. And I think we deemed the 28th, but I didn't put it in my calendar. So 28th at like 6 PM for some reason's ringing,
So
6 or 7.
Get Heather and make sure that
Yeah.
she's here for the next meeting. And, or if she chooses to postpone it even further than that.
It doesn't need to be the next meeting. I don't think.
Okay.
Tammy, Carolyn says she sent you the documents. The nerve of it. Thank you, Carolyn. Tammy,
Carolyn, did you hear that? We got it. We're just having issues printing it off your phone. We're gonna transfer it to another computer and print it off. So we're all set with that.
Thank you.
very much.
Okay,
Ta-
very good. Thank you.
we're gonna table it for Heather. Listen though, not you, Carolyn. I'm sorry. Thank you. Tammy, the 28th, isn't that the next hearing? What time was that set? 6 or 7? 7? Thank you, Tammy. Let me actually put that in my calendar.
Well,
Okay.
There we go. CBA meeting.
You're doing nothing.
so did you have anything else that you wanted to add, Carolyn?
She just got off. She says no, she left.
Okay.
We're up to Jamie Curtis. Hudva Hill. Thank you, Jamie.
Oh, I guess we're all set with that.
Jamie is not on.
We're all set there. Yeah. We got some other visitors here.
So we're gonna skip over Heather and was there anything else on the?
We have these folks. Anybody here?
Conservation Commission?
Come
Come
on.
up. Come on down. You are the next contestant. Dun-dun-dun. Get the dollars out. Dun-dun-dun.
Oh, all three of you are coming up.
And you thought you
Yeah,
were.
you thought you were gonna get out, huh?
Pat takes center square.
You can state your names on there, so.
I'm Patrick Evans.
What?
There.
We're all members of the Bakersfield Conservation Commission. And we're here because you want to bring up
Well,
the issue
we
of.
want to make sure they have our request for statement in
Budget.
the town meeting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We've got that. We're talking about
You're making
different.
sure because they're looking for others. here.
No, we have yours.
We have yours.
Okay.
Yep.
We're all set.
Yes, thank you for.
You had another
You did, yeah.
issue that you wanted to
I do.
discuss as well.
We do.
Do you want to turn the mic towards Alice, please? Thank you.
I read the notes from your budget meeting. And it said that, we had applied for, if we could get help with, grant writing. And we were answered no. But you, that's not what the answer was, I'm sorry. But you said you would match funds,
Yes,
correct?
that is correct.
Do we interpret that? to
No, we
be
don't match funds.
50%? It doesn't really matter, but anyway, Carolyn and Pat
That is the agreement we made.
pretty much
It's fine.
have just very recently finished applying for a grant to plant trees in our
We match.
community.
Mhm.
Not
And
for-
Grant
they did a
seed.
great
Grant
job.
writing seed.
Yeah.
And they finalized that grant. And it's now has been applied for further processing. I'm bringing this up because they did not need a grant writer on that because Northwest Regional Planning Commission provided a person on their staff for free.
Mhm.
Well, it's not for free because we help out with planning, anyway, so, I ran across this other offer from Northwest Regional Planning Commission. And, this was back in October, November, and started the wheels turning. And this money, who holds the money in this is the United Way Community Partner Funding Program. And they do not, any of their work does not require a grant writer because they provide it from their staff.
Mhm.
We have a person on their staff already has contacted us, and he's the first one of all these people we've appealed to that actually came to our community and looked at the burn.
That's awesome.
And he was quite impressed, I believe. Anyway, this process is now in place. With the holidays, things got back off, but, we're trying to look at something outside the box on this here, but it's too early to say too much about it. And in any event, we do not need a grant writer for this because he has been provided already. And it is, our question at this point is, and he would like to know, would the town go on a split funding program for a project? This is all kind of. out in the-
So
That would entirely depend on how much the project is going
It's
to
gonna
cost.
Right.
yeah.
Truly, there's all kinds of factors. But is there an absolute no, or is there a possibility?
others are there now. So let me just clarify one thing about the other meeting. Let's start with that so we make it easy. The matching funds is not towards matching grant requirement funds. For instance, if a grant says, hey, we need you to do an equal match for $1,000. What those matching funds are is, and it's kind of, we don't term it matching funds anymore because it's confusing for folks. What we have done in the town is to say to the other organizations within the town, if you have to have a grant written, you can come to the select board and request that we help like a 50-50 split of what it costs to have the grant written. So for instance, using Alex, the town, and this is regarding Alex, because we have a contract with Alex for
Yeah.
hours and all. So that is the matching portion of anything that we have mentioned in the meetings, just to be clear. As for what you are requesting, we would need to know the amount to put forth. I think that we are a week away. Tammy, I'm kind of staring at the back of your head. A week away from when we have to have these updates in for the March town meeting day, right?
That's correct.
So we would need to
23rd is when we have to do.
23rd. So we would need to know by then. All right, well, let's not take it to the max. Let's say 10, let's say a week away.
All we need to know is, would there be a possibility
Well, we would put it to the voters.
funds for the grant itself, not for a writer?
Yeah, that would have to go to the voters. I mean, honestly, that would have to go to the voters on town meeting day. So we would need to know how much you're asking to match. What it would give or
If we
take.
got something together, we would have to wait several months. in
Yeah,
order to-
Month and a half, month, 5 weeks.
Special meeting,
No,
Yeah,
this is
that-
town meeting day. This is election
No,
day.
we have until the 23rd.
Right,
Right,
If it's going on the ballot,
right.
we
right.
have until the 23rd. So you
Right.
have a few days.
What I'm saying is we'd wait 5 weeks till town meeting day to find the answer.
Yes.
really are.
Yeah. Well, that's why I was saying next week, being next Monday.
2 months anyway.
Right.
But
Um,
just feel our way out of
Yeah,
it.
Big
It-
cost.
it-
is-
the problem.
And if I may, I mean, I would never want to say, no, we're not interested. I would never.
Right.
say,
Okay.
Double negative.
Right.
But
It's dependent on so many factors, so at some
Right.
point, we can't.
we have a responsibility to the town of Bakersfield
I,
to,
yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Lance.
to be fiscally responsible for the money we spend. I'm looking at this and I see replacing the trees. And I can see that if that's a matching grant, I can see that happening very easily. As far as spending $100,000 on the carriage barn, that would be a tough sell.
No, that's not the money we're talking about with the barn.
But we don't know that because you haven't thrown any numbers at us. That's where we're having a problem.
Yeah.
Is it what you sent in for the $5,000?
No, that's
We had the barn
town
assessed
forest.
3 different contracts
Mhm.
in the recent past,
Yes.
within the last 2 years.
Yeah.
This has been done.
What you're saying is that you have someone who's going to do a grant and you need 50% of they are looking to have a match on this grant.
It doesn't have to be maybe even 50%. It's showing these people that our town wants this to happen.
Support.
So then we need an amount, because I think that if we're going to do this, we're coming up on town meeting day. It's just easiest to ask the town. They'll be here, and a subset of them will at least be here at the meeting. And if we say, hey, the BCC is looking to match a grant for $2,000, whatever the number is, $10,000. You know, they're looking for the support of the town, whatever you want to write out into the explanation. And we put it out on town meeting day, people will vote on it. And they'll let us know how to proceed with it. I think that's the best course of action since we are so close to town meeting day. Whether you use the money in the next 6 weeks or 6 months, that's neither here nor there, but we're so close to town meeting day. It would be nice to just ask the town.
Already asking for the $5,000 for,
Did you get a petition up for that, Alice?
excuse me,
Were you able to get a petition up for that?
you have it. That's what we first talked about.
No, it's a request. I don't have a signed, do we have a signed petition?
From
Oh,
people?
well, I guess-
Right.
Yes.
I didn't know we knew it was a
I,
requirement.
Alice and I had spoken, prior to Christmas. And I recommended that, the easiest way to put this through and present it to for the town forest or the town, conservation land, would be to put it in as a petition.
I misunderstood. I thought you were discussing.
If you had a petition saying, you know, would the town of would you support the town of Bakersfield? Setting aside a fund of $5,000 for future purchase of property for a town forest or town park, etc. Please sign here. And you had 1% of the population, we would be obligated to put it on the ballot.
Similar to what we do for running for select board or
Correct.
anything like
It's like,
So you need how many signatures? 11? Was it
A
more?
page.
that page. It's just one.
yeah,
So we could get that before Thursday. I know that's tight, but.
What is the deadline on that?
Thursday.
Yesterday?
It is
Thursday,
Thursday.
pretty much, yeah.
I think
But that's what a petition is. I'm sorry if you misunderstood that. But it is a document that states what you want, and it is signed by a certain percentage of the town. And if that certain percentage is met, then we are obligated to put it on the ballot.
I think Carolyn felt that by just getting it turned in as she has, that that's what was necessary.
One page is about 25 signatures.
I don't think it's that many.
It's, yeah, something like that.
20 or 25.
Yeah.
How many signatures they really need? I mean,
I think 20 would be plenty.
And I believe the number is 1% of the population. We have about 2,000
Yeah.
registered voters. So 20 people would be adequate.
But we appreciate.
I,
Put your horns and tail away now.
I'm sorry.
We stand.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I
No,
If it was easy and you said, will the town support a matching grant fund of $4,000 to help restore the barn? Yeah, we'll vote on that, but we don't know what the number is, Alice. I have seen some estimates on repairing that are absolutely outlandish. And you have
That is
too,
true.
you know that,
True.
and it's. Not knowing how much you're asking for is what we're having a problem with.
If you can get us again, like pick a number by Thursday and, you know, we can get that on the, we can actually put that on the ballot.
Do that. I came in here to see the difference between getting a grant writer and having this available to us without
Yeah.
our own money.
The only thing that we have a matching fund available on the budget is I believe there may be more than that, but I believe it's the road. Because we have to for the state.
Yeah.
So when they like re-blacktop 108, a section of 108, I think that's the only thing we have in the budget is a matching grant fund. So that it's not like we have or in the books for that. We don't have a pile of
That's
cash.
not to say that we can't vote on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen,
It may come to that in the future.
that's the same thing as anybody else who comes forward and asks for funds from the town. If you can just get it to us, Thursday preferable, Monday the absolute latest, get it to Kathy or in Tammy's hands to get it to Kathy, then, you know, we can get that on the ballot. You just got to decide on an amount.
I mean, we support the activities.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah,
not, listen,
absolutely. We support the
Support the
activities. We just,
activities, we just can't,
I like the-
right.
yeah.
Alice, we're not saying we don't support the activities. We're just saying we don't have enough information to make a decision right now.
Feel that you did.
Good.
Right, okay. Yeah, but I'd like to, if at all possible, we'd like to get it in front of the voters this year, so you're not waiting another year.
John,
Right.
an election in November.
We have one, we just had one in November.
Not this year.
Yeah, yeah.
2 years.
I would say, try to get it to us Thursday, Monday, the absolute latest, and think of a number. Talk to your grant writer, call them tomorrow and just say, what do you think you're talking about on a match? Even if it's a 10% match, right? Give me a number because we want to get it on the town meeting day ballot.
So there's two things we're talking about here. One is getting petition for
Is the-
$5,000
yeah.
conservation
Yeah.
reserve grant,
Right.
and then if we decide an amount that we would like to ask for. two
Right.
petitions.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can put that one up to vote, but it would be better.
Hate to close this meeting, this little conversation, but that, the fact is that you 5 people own that barn.
I agree.
And it's been there for 20 years, 25 years in your hands. Not you personally, but something has to be done.
Oh, yeah, I agree and slightly disagree. 2,000 people in the town of Bakersfield own that barn. That's a town barn kind of thing, town owned. But I agree with you, what you're saying, that we have to get something done. It's the same thing with the Hearst house. Something has to be done. And it may come down to the point that it's unrepairable in the near future, because we're what I had called years ago analysis paralysis. We take too much time spinning our wheels trying to figure things out instead of just getting the wheels of motion working. That may wind up that one of those or both of those buildings have to come down. So the key is we want to save them. Nobody disagrees. We're in support of saving them. We just need a number.
If you find yourself, cemetery,
Right.
not anything.
Yeah, I think we turned that back to the cemetery. That has gone back and forth more than a tennis ball.
The town of Bakersfield funds the cemetery commission.
So ultimately, it falls still underneath us, but
So
but
can we just clarify, because there are 2 issues. One
Right.
requires, one we would like a petition
Yep.
for the 5,000 for the conservation piece. The other bit, the potential of a matching grant does not need a petition. We just need the amount to be warned
But-
for town meeting day.
Oh, you don't need a position for that.
I mean, if we're requiring one for the one.
For the matching fund grant, we need an amount to put in.
Just an amount.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I would have preferred to, as far as the town forest or town park. Conservation Commission, reservation fund, or what do you call it here?
Reserve conservation reserve.
Reserve fund.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have seen a petition, but we can still put it into vote.
Without a petition,
I think
Yes.
that you- 20 sig-
2025.
20 signatures, and that would put some support behind it.
yeah,
Right.
Okay.
That would show that
Right.
there are people in town that do support this, and that would add
Yeah, I'm sure.
in your favor.
Now, this is, to clarify, this is what you were talking about several meetings ago, months ago, right? Where I think you said one of the other local towns had done it and they're saving the land and turning it into forestry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Been in front of this August body this much, but we're learning.
No.
You guys are doing a great job. Thank you for it.
Thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let us know where the petition is.
Yeah, same here.
The 10, right?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'll find it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Same here.
Oh, I'd happily sign it if I have,
Same
I
here.
see it, yes.
I mean, once you can put drama, take it to the.
Window.
You can have 2. One will take them out and one that's it.
Hey, if you give them a tablet, they can write it down real fast.
Heather's on.
Yes, Heather came on. Heather just started to grace us.
Hello.
Hello. How are you guys doing today? Sorry, I've been feeling under the weather, so
Oh, no, that's not good.
decided
got
not to
a-
share with you guys.
Ah. So you wanted to talk about the ZBA, Heather?
Yeah, I gotta reach out to the lawyer and again, although I don't know if we want to keep paying him, I could reach out to VLTC and, he says that the only way to get rid of the ZBA is to create a development review board, so DRB. And then what would happen is that would take all the quasi, I know I'm not going to say this right. Sorry, I've got a migraine. A quasi judicial, any of that would be removed from the planning commission and go to the DRB. Right now, like I had said previously, like the planning commission has two quasi judicial roles and the ZBA has two. And so getting rid of the ZBA would, he says you'd have to create a development review board, but then the development review board would do all four of the reviews, and then the planning commission would go to meeting every 5 years or when they have to review a bylaw. So instead of meeting monthly for planning commission, you'd meet monthly for the development review board. What does that do in favor for us? Hopefully that would get everybody who's currently on the planning commission to currently go to the DRB board as well, and then have no need for the ZBA and have, and you have the people who are actually making the rules and regulations for the town serve as the people who are reviewing it for applicants, because as we've seen for this last couple of hearings, it's very hard to get volunteers to come in. We've had to pull Nikki and John from you guys to serve on the board, and it just doesn't make any sense. You might as well just throw it all the way back to the DRB and have them do everything, have one training, go through one group of people instead of having training for potentially the planning commission, which could be up to 7 members, and the DRB board, which can be up to 5. I think it was 5 members. So it just simplifies the process. I thought, I was hoping there's a way to get rid of everything and just have everything fall on the planning commission, but he was saying no, you have to have the planning commission and a separate DRB or ZBA board, which I want to find out just to make sure he's correct in that. But talking to the VLC, Vermont League Cities and Towns, and also probably reaching out to Emily Croft, is it Croft? Emily Croft up in, yeah, and just to see what her thoughts are on it. But it's been very difficult to have a ZBA board in Bakersfield. So you guys have seen it. And
Heather,
it's
what is your time frame on this? In your mind?
I would like to get it resolved by the summer.
Okay.
I mean, I think we're stuck kind of like for this next hearing that's coming up. In the next couple of weeks, we'll have a additional hearing for a conditional use grant or conditional use permit. Sorry, not a grant. I was listening to your previous conversation. So for a conditional use permit for the same people who had the variance request, the variance request was withdrawn by applicants and they are now requesting a conditional use. So I feel like we're kind of stuck at this point in the roles that we're in fairness of applicants in town. And then afterwards consider making a decision change. If you want it quickly to be something that the town votes on, then we'd have to throw something quick. Or if you guys want to just decide outside the town, I think you can do that. I think
I don't think we can do it in time for the vote.
No, I think the zoning board
Of
is
adjustment.
appointed. Let's say it's not elected.
No.
Right.
Correct.
So
right.
that is something that can be changed, without vote.
Right, I think the DRB would not have to be voted this time around. I think it could be elected should you guys choose to go that route. And then the next year, have that be something the town votes those people in, should you guys choose to go that way as well.
I mean, honestly, we could keep the ZBA and just put all the planning commissioners on it that are voted in.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be the responsibility. And then on any hearing nights, it would just be a night that the planning commission meets. And that way we don't have to worry about what actually has to happen at the voting booth, right? Because if we go
Yeah.
and we find out down the line after next Monday, we find out that, hey, we just can't say this is happening, it has to be voted, we're stuck. But as the select board, we have the capability of appointing, and why we want to just appoint the planning commission as the ZBA, I don't know.
So I
As long as they're all willing.
would say for
as-
this situation, we have not discussed this as a planning commission.
Right.
We've had sort of conversations, but we do have two other members who have not been privy to that conversation. And I would be really interested in knowing what other towns do. You know, are we doing it in the most efficient way? Do we have, I mean, let's not recreate.
Well,
Michael said most of the boards do the DRB.
Yeah.
Because I remember when Emily came and talked to the planning commission, she kept forgetting we were a planning commission.
Commissioner, not,
She
yeah,
thought we were a DRB.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think
But
it would be really helpful to know what the most
Yeah,
efficient way to do it is. So if we could get a
Michael, the attorney said that DRB was the most popular plan for towns of our size.
But Heather, suggestion, we're not gonna settle this in time for the,
No,
Election.
it's just to get the.
we're not
the
gonna
thoughts
settle
in
this in
mind.
time for the town meeting. Could you find out for us if the Development Review Board is appointed
Or elected.
or elected? That would be
Yes, I can do.
helpful information. And
Okay.
we will tackle this after town meeting day, and when we have time to address it properly.
And I would,
And I
Okay.
think on the next agenda for the planning commission too, so that, you know, that.
and I would
we'll
look
be
at
able to know
how
results.
other towns have already developed this, how it's
Yeah.
put together within their
Right.
town.
Right, did they put it to election, did they?
Since creating something we can
Well-
copy and use.
Yeah, well, that's exactly it. You know, you and I talked about this before. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We just have to make it fit our spoke
That's
kind of
right.
thing. So, but if we find out, and unfortunately, we're coming up to that point, to my point, Heather, we can, you know, the planning commission's an elected body. We just assign
Right.
them to the ZBA. It's the same darn thing.
Development Review Board,
No, planning commission's an elected body, right?
yes.
So in order to disperse an elected body, we have to put it to a vote. We're not going to hit that by town meeting day, right? Because we don't know if the
No.
DBA is elected or not. So here's the thing, what I'm saying is at least until the next election past 2025, then what we should do is talk to have the planning commission talk. And obviously that Heather, you, Nikki, and I have to finish the job we started with the current
Yeah.
request. But any future requests, I would strongly suggest that the ZBA the planning commission becomes the ZBA. And any hearings you have, you hold on your regularly scheduled monthly meeting.
Okay.
The first of the month.
That's fair.
And I think the first Monday of the month, I think that way you still get that until we figure out. Because honestly, you're all elected officials.
Yeah.
So we have to find, it is an elected position. We have to go to the town, but we just don't know what to go to the town with. We don't have enough time. Does that make sense, Heather?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Yeah, because
Okay.
my fear is like we're gonna get more things showing up over this year and then we're still gonna be stuck with the same thought process of, you know, some of the rules and regulations that we've created. We can't really specify them. And that's kind of what kind of screwed us on this issue is we really, when we created the town bylaws, we didn't specify what an unfinished area was. And-
Unoccupied, right?
Unoccupied, that's
Unoccupied.
correct, yep. Unoccupied area, and we really
Right.
didn't, we allowed the opening of, hey, you can conditionally have this area if, you know, regardless, they don't even, nobody has to meet that 5 criteria like they did for the variance. And it
Yeah.
just leaves a real big hole open, so, you know, it's nice if you can have the planning commission, because those are the people who can actually change the bylaws. At planning commission can have a meeting and change the bylaws, get it approved by the select board immediately. They
Yeah,
don't
they're
have to
looking.
wait every 5 to 7 years. So something like this, you
Right.
know, we could have cleared up months ago had we knew it was going to be an issue, but we could have cleared it up right away and just said, no, the planning commission voted and took that piece out. That's not relevant anymore. So anyhow,
yeah.
that's that's what's handy having the two on the same position, is that like the people that are creating the rules are also the one making the decisions on the rule. And the caveat when I spoke to Brian Westcomb, sorry, was that previously they're like, if you're meeting before one board, you're not really getting a break. You know, you're not getting another set of eyes to look at the situation and kind of outrule the other people. And so he
Yeah.
said that it could be kind of an iffy circumstance depending on who was serving on the planning commission, you know, and it kind of kept bias out of it. But my argument, it has always been, you should only elect people in positions that you should be able to trust, and we are elected on the planning commission. And
Yeah.
also, they can still fight any of our decisions with the environmental review board at the state of Vermont. So it's not like they don't have any recourse to go through after a ZBA decision or a planning commission or even a DRB commission. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, guys. I do not feel good today. Decision. They can, it's not the end of the road for them, where previously in years past, they didn't have that ability to always do that. So,
Right.
so anyhow, I think there's more positives than outweighs any negatives.
Yeah, well, my suggestion is you talk to the commission on your next meeting, see what the thought of is of your other two commissioners, right?
Yes.
And you bring it back for discussion at the next, not the very next, but the next select board meeting after you have that opportunity to have a discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Some input from Emily or, yeah.
Right. Because Emily's going to be at the next meeting as well, right?
Yeah, she is, yeah.
Okay, so that would be a perfect time to add that to the agenda for that night. I know Tammy said she's so excited to join the ZBA or the DRB. She just can't wait. She's
All righty. Oh.
So that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, Heather.
Thanks, you too. Take care.
You too. Hope you feel better.
Thank you.
Mac, you're up. That's not.
Is Jamie not coming tonight? Is that?
He is not coming tonight. I'll bring it up on the road report. That's what he was here for.
Okay.
No, this right here,
Clarence Brown, Clarence
you
Brown.
have
That's it, yeah,
little repair fund.
11, yeah.
Yeah. And we're taking that out of it. So here we go.
Well, they're talking on that, Matt. One of the things we
You've got a
talked about
difference
a
of
little earlier before the meeting.
$10,000 basically. We want to
International
keep it
makes that TV
45.
series.
In
Have you
order to
looked
do
at
that,
it?
we're gonna have to ask for 55.
Price wise, it's not.
Yeah, because you
that
get
bad.
21, down 21 there.
So Montgomery has one.
Oh,
11.
yeah.
And they're using it, and
21.
they love it.
That's 65,
Oh,
66.
We were talking, it's something we ought to
What was
look
this?
at.
This was the repair to the tailpipe?
That
To
was the
the,
repair to that.
Well, get that and to
The
not even think
EFI.
about
yeah,
it. Use that.
Yeah.
yeah,
Whatever.
the oil, whatever the hell they call it.
Yeah, the diesel.
Right, right, right. But I'm just saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I priced them on the internet and they're
So that's,
Same price.
that's an issue, right?
They have one
Steep
there. I
price.
don't know what that one is. If that's
That's,
four-wheel drive, I'm
uh,
assuming.
so
that-
you're gonna
I'm
need
just gonna put this on yours. Mine is
55.
Yeah,
two.
I was looking at when I went by yesterday.
Right, you're gonna need 65.
It's there, we can latch
Oh,
on
that's
to
the road
get it in the
commissioner.
system to get the plow and the wing.
Just wanted to mention that, so somebody.
I mean, you know,
remember
you
it.
guys.
Okay, I'll look at it.
Got it, take it for a ride, see
Yeah.
what you think.
What do you got, Matt?
I got nothing.
Perfect. The roads are pretty good.
All right.
I didn't feel many bumps.
The arms are up, we're in trouble.
There's a complaint on Pudva Hill. It seems that there are students coming down the hill to meet the bus at the same time. The snowplow is going up the hill.
Excuse me.
Is there any possibilities that the time frame could be changed slightly?
That's not an issue.
Um,
Really, you're more of an issue.
earlier is an issue. You're already starting it
You're starting early.
early.
3:30 in the morning or whatever it is.
And I know you're doing the most traveled roads first.
Right.
I am bringing this to your attention.
I know we have a car twice a week.
Yep. And there have been complaints about that, cars coming down the hill and, you know, plowing uphill
Is all by
is
itself as a
real fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not a shallow hill.
No.
So I don't know what you can do about it. I'm making you aware of the situation and the complaints.
Mhm.
And I'm asking that you use your best judgment. Do not endanger
No.
a town employee
And don't get into citizens.
and do not endanger citizens.
Yep.
So does the individual who made
If you
this?
could come
I'm
up with a
sorry.
solution, it would be
Andy.
nice.
Right. So the individual who made this concern, are they quote unquote representing all the residents of Pudva Hill or just themselves? Is it just them who've made this concern?
I have heard complaints from one person.
I ask because obviously if he's plowing the hill, let's say he waits 45 minutes to an hour to make sure the kids are off to school, then the next set of complaints will be the hill isn't cleared for us to go down for work or something on the
I'm
lines of.
fully aware of the track. that
So it
lies
is,
there.
yeah, so I think the question is it one individual in Pudva Hill complaining? Or is it all the residents of Pudva Hill complaining?
It's the one person that is met. I'm
Right.
not sure if it's the same person that's complaining.
Right.
You seem to pull over very well and.
I'm not so concerned about cars coming down because anybody who drives in snow in winter knows that there are snowplows.
The walking.
It's the children
Yeah.
that, and we know what time they're gonna be
Right.
coming down the road, so.
No, I agree.
I mean, that to me is an easy thing. to do.
The issue is compounded by the,
Like Lamoille or wherever they happen to be going to school at that.
Yeah, no, they don't.
I'll get
They
you.
don't walk.
Right.
Okay.
They-
that's-
the issue is compounded by the fact that the school bus doesn't drive up. that
Doesn't go
road.
up.
Right.
Well, I wouldn't drive up that road either. He was sliding all over the place. I walked up that road. I wouldn't
There's a
drive it.
reason for a smaller truck.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
I know, absolutely.
But that's the concern. So if you wind up they wanted earlier is what it sounds like. And unfortunately, we don't have that capability. So it's either at the time we have it or later is the only options they have. And unfortunately, then I think the concern will be, I'm sliding down that hill sideways because they ain't plowed. Right? So the question is, what do they
Honestly-
want?
Honestly, if I'm coming down that hill, I'd rather have snow on it.
I was just gonna say, I'd rather have the snow than.
Oh, there you go.
Done our due diligence, you're aware that.
Three.
You know, I know that.
I'll see if we can work it out a little bit. It's not like you go to Waterville and.
Right.
Side of town.
Oh, no, but it's that way, the furthest part.
This side,
Yeah.
Francis side, that side for the school bus. and
Yeah.
then That way, that is the route. So
Yeah.
Town
mean,
common.
with those three of us, it would be.
It wouldn't be a
Yeah,
problem.
but we understand that.
Right.
And the individual understands that we have tried to hire somebody.
Yep.
To fill in for our absent, third, crew member, and we have been unable to.
Right.
So.
So I will figure out about that.
And then along the same sort of lines, and it's not really a complaint, but it was brought to my attention that the handicap parking bay outside the library wasn't cleared, and I know it was on the other side was,
Yeah.
but there was just.
One
Someone-
time I know he didn't know it was there.
Right.
And then when I passed the law.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that-
This guy on the state truck likes to throw the.
Mhm.
All week,
Yeah, I noticed that.
and that doesn't blow or.
No.
No, it doesn't,
No,
but no, that was just a
Yeah.
request.
No, he did them today because I saw him doing early actually it was earlier this morning, too, like 9 o'clock.
When there was so much snow, and it was all we could do.
But he was having a hard time because of the slush.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
Hey,
Thank you.
What's the address on this?
That's all I have.
you got the numbers
I
from
did.
Tom?
We got numbers from Tom. We got all kinds of numbers from Tom.
Well, which numbers?
What's in the one account?
Yes.
Well, it wasn't that account until
Your bill came from
that
Allegiance.
warrant right there.
Okay, what I was gonna say is I wouldn't take it out of that account. I'd leave that money in there
Yeah.
and then take that out of the road budget. Because the road budget, you see the account.
Yes, I have.
That's what I would do. And I do have a bill here from Valancourt for 1,200.
Yeah.
Which is January, so it will go on this year.
I'm fixing the wing.
Bed chain and stuff like that for number 2, you know, getting that one going, fixing the wing. Yeah, there's 3, 4 different bills on it. Yeah. But that's-
So may I have
Confused.
that one back, please?
Well, I'm confused. So yeah,
30.
sure.
32,000.
No, that's in here. So that one. There. Which one?
Does-
While you're looking that up, I did talk to him while you were talking over there about looking at that international CV
Yep.
and just see if it's something they might be able to use. The cost is the same as the 550.
Okay. Just so you know, I am changing this warrant
Okay.
that you have already
Yep,
signed.
no, that's what it changing.
Okay. I am proposing, as Mac did.
Yep.
That instead of taking it out of the equipment repair fund,
Yeah,
okay, we take it out of the regular road account.
Okay.
Which is a good, healthy balance at the moment,
I am okay with that.
thus preserving,
Makes sense.
thus preserving
Yeah.
what we have
Keep your
in the
equipment
equipment
repair. Yeah,
repair
no,
fund, and
I'm fine with that.
That's less.
we'd have to ask for $34,000 to replenish it to the $45,000 top off point instead of
Which is,
65.
which is what we were planning on because of that. You're right.
Okay. So I'm gonna circle this.
Yep.
And take it out of, I'll make sure I get the road commissioners fund. Is what it's listed as here. It's the first line item on. Come here and take a look at it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's the right fund. Road commissioners fund right there, balance of.
Yep, that's the one. In that fund, there is the 2 extra payments from the state.
This
aid.
year, right, yeah.
There is the money for the truck payment, I believe. I don't-
As,
I know it's voted on as a, you know what I'm saying? We have one truck payment we didn't make this year.
Yep.
So that's in there, and the rest of the FEMA money for paving is that. So that would all come off the top of that number, but that's still,
okay,
you know what I'm saying? That's.
so okay, so that's where that went. The rest of the money for the paving went into the,
In the general road budget, I believe, yes.
okay.
That.
It went into road commissioners instead of the paving fund
Yeah,
matching grant.
yeah, we don't know, we didn't know.
Yep,
So that's in there, the 2 payments and. What did I just say? FEMA money, 2 payments and the truck. That would be made probably when we get the new truck.
okay,
For a down payment probably, I don't know.
so should we put that to a vote?
I'm sorry. For what? Changing the fund?
Yes. Or are you happy with?
I'm happy with it. I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm fine with
The
it. Yeah, I'm fine with
consensus
it.
is there, yeah.
You put it to a
Rick Mayor
vote.
suggested it, so I assume he's in agreement
I mean,
with that.
if you want to make it official, we can do
It
a
makes
vote.
sense to me instead of
Paperwork.
asking for all that money for the repair.
Sure, yeah, for the repair fund, yeah.
Yeah. So the repair fund still needs,
So the repair fund still has the,
still needs 34,
yeah, it still needs 34,
right?
Yeah,
which is better than 65.
right.
Mac, town garage phone number ending 6133. Okay, thanks. I'll bring that up to Tammy in a minute,
What's that?
or now, it doesn't matter. Well, here's the thing, I'm looking, and this is the town garage phone bill. And then we're paying with 300 megs of internet, we're paying $120.33.
Mhm.
They have phone, right? VoIP service and internet. For a minute there, I thought we were getting billed twice, so that's why I had asked to have that back.
Oh,
Because the town bill, which the phone number ends in 4495, the town bill is $6 more. It's 126.84 versus the 120. They don't have internet on it. Right? I see there's an actual second line here, 3106, 802-827. Their fax line. So we're paying $30 a month for a fax line. I don't know how many faxes we get. No, that's here.
oh,
How many faxes we get to this office, Tammy? How many? You haven't,
There's people that come in and send things that are expensive that have to be sent back.
well, and that's for the Xfinity internet. It's like $18 a month, but the phone, your phone and internet is 120 a month, 150 a month, 150. I mean, 120. Sorry. Now you got me doing 250.
Right.
True yes. Sorry. That's going 250. 250. It's a cartoon commercial. It's funny. You owe me 250. Anyhow, the town, we're paying $6 more a month. And it looks like all we have is a phone line and a fax line and a whole slew of fees. We have no long distance service, yet we pay a $6 fee for long distance, right? We have all kinds of stuff. And I'm over nickels and dimes. You know how my head works. I apologize. But the minute I saw that, the numbers were so close. I'm like, are we paying this twice? What's going on? But it is here. And because we have to have a fax line, we're paying so much more. I think if I remember correctly, and I'd have to look, there's a fax program you can use on your computer. You scan it in and you fax it out. And it acts like, it used to be called,
You can make, you
he's up the,
can send faxes through the copier through your computer system too.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, PK fax is what it used to be called years ago. The only thing I'm saying is we're paying a premium plus internet, and his line is cheaper with internet and voice. I'll sign this. I just,
I think it's something we need to look into.
Yeah.
We've touched on this previously when we were talking about old technology.
Yeah, thank
what
you.
we
Lynn. Thank you,
need
Lynn.
to changes.
That's the faxes
Yeah.
through the copier though.
But there are ways, I know there are ways of encrypting, because we send PPI all the time.
Right.
And we don't fax,
Email.
we're.
You encrypt an email.
Discussion. I'm gonna go
Yeah.
make sure Tom knows about this change
Yeah.
Okay.
before.
Yeah, you encrypt your email,
Encrypting.
encrypt the file into an email.
We should be looking at that rather than
Right, because we're
30
paying
bucks a month on a fax machine.
30 bucks a month on a fax machine, right? It's just crazy.
Is that part of the copier contract though?
No, that's the consolidated communication phone line.
That's for the copier to be able to do the fax, right? It's
I
the
don't
line
know.
to the copier, I think. It does it, right? Yeah, so it's the line to the copier. right?
So what we would do is they've got an internet line, we can convert that.
Well, they can say that, but if our option is no, we will encrypt it.
So-
with an email.
When did we become the local copy fax place?
Yeah.
What I'm just saying is we can encrypt and send it via email and it costs $0.
Right.
I don't know. I think we need to check with the department that claims they're not taking it.
Facts only.
It's two.
Yes, to the state, yep, to the feds. Yep.
Encrypted emails, they're accepting that.
All right. All right, I'm just saying it's an expense that we're just tossing cash out the door for.
You know.
I'd like to know how many people a year use it.
She could tell you, no, she could tell you how many faxes she's
It's
getting.
a lot, anytime someone sends, yeah.
Your counts are there.
That's true.
Both. You can.
Wow. For the female and all.
It is ridiculous.
It's such a waste of money.
All right, next. Keep
Thank
this
you
thing
for-
moving.
I didn't know you needed a
8:30,
separate line for
every-
fax. We used to fax through my phone line.
Oh, the fact that the state-
Yeah. I didn't know we needed a completely separate phone line for faxing a specific line. I can fax from my house on my phone. It's just a waste of money.
You're right up to date on everything, so.
Not with faxing. I'm so up to date with faxing. I did away with it in 99.
So
Yeah, I hear you.
Alex Barkley obviously isn't here tonight. Any others on the road accounts,
No,
road report?
no, just thanks again, Mac. We signed the paperwork, so you should get it, I guess, the next time you get paid. Thank you.
Board business?
Oh, for Christ's sake. I'm tired of moving snow.
Business.
We got lots of work to do.
Belvedere Mountain Road certification.
Request that we take off certification because we are not certifying that road. Other than that, no, I have done nothing with.
Okay.
the surveyor at this point.
Yeah,
Police contract, I think.
We just looked at it.
Yeah.
Signed MERP agreement. What MERP agreement do we have to sign?
He signed it it's been signed.
You can remove that.
Luno property, haven't heard anything else on that. Warrants and report, we've been
Done.
discussing those.
Dude, can I go backwards to Lunel for a second? Do we need to keep that on here or can we scratch it? We do
I
need-
think we need to keep it on there, it's just
Okay.
ongoing.
No saying that.
Do we want to hold the budget to the last?
Brigham Academy update, I have no further updates at this point. I'm done with my surgery and I've recused myself from emails and everything for the past month and I need to get back onto that, so.
Starting tomorrow morning.
Anything in the mail?
Yeah, I get the mail here, so Brigham Academy's done.
You need to turn your mic on and turn it towards you and state your name for the record, madam.
That's a minimal expense, but I don't think we need to order 200.
Much less to order, and we got like 78 this year, and if we do have law enforcement and they do start enforcing stuff, and then it's like you buy a ticket or you pay the fine. Good point. Just saying, what's the difference in price?
Didn't we-
Buy 100 and buy 200.
Buy 100 now, buy.
Can we not buy one that says 202 and then add the last digit and we can carry it year after year? Who cares about code?
All right,
All right.
order them.
Eh. We'd like them in purple this year, maybe
John,
fuchsia.
where are you?
I didn't order it. I forgot. Order.
Well, do review
Sorry.
mail, I'm hoping Josh will show up. Yeah.
That was 2 weeks ago.
Wanted to follow up my request to add Vermont FDR, TPL and our partners at Cold Hollow to Canada to the Bakersfield Select Board meeting scheduled on January 27th to discuss potential new conservation easement known as Lost Nation. That is partially in Bakersfield. Ideally, we would love to be the first thing on the schedule so that we can make it Fairfield the same night. That's a trust for public land.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tammy, please put them on.
first thing, put them on top of
First on the,
visitors.
visitors agenda, yes. Max. Certificate of highway mileage.
Yep.
Have you reviewed this?
Yep.
Is it correct?
Yep. You need to sign the bottom, you just need to cast it, you need to sign it for it.
Signatures of select men, so we all need to sign.
There we go, you can't sign.
And I don't even want to go about the gender thing here, so.
Just put Mr. Nicky Craig.
For
Just
tonight's
in.
meeting,
Pass it down to Nick. Oh, Nick, you're not gonna sign it, Nicky?
Mr. Nick Cribb.
What else you have?
Oh, let me put this one back. Yes, I know I'm not politically correct. You can slap me later when we're not on camera.
Bum, bum, bum.
Oh, energy efficient, accessible, and thank you. Mac, you need to sign this.
No, it's Kathy.
You should
Oh,
pass
just
that down to
Kathy.
Tammy.
Pass that back to Tammy, please.
Sure.
Thank you. Congratulations again on your town's MERT grant. Yay. The funding represents a pivotal step toward building more and sustainable and resilient communities. At Summit Press Consulting, we're here to empower your mission and elevate your impact by turning grant opportunities into tangible results.
Pardon me.
I forwarded that to you, John.
Yeah, I read it. We'll just let Lance roll through it, though. It's fun.
Good action on it.
I took action. It's still sitting in my mailbox.
Then that's yours.
Why do I get it? I said I read it
Because
already.
there's anything to do that needs filing or anything, remember, I told you, keep every scrap of paper.
Yep, I have it. I have it in email. I don't need to print it out. I just keep them all. Oh, I'm serious. I'm not
A
kidding.
word of advice. Keep
it all.
both.
Everything.
Really? In paper too?
Yes,
Kill a tree. Okay.
Keep it all.
I've been through it.
Yep.
Yeah, I know you said
They
keep a file.
did upgrade the gears program. But the gears program I dealt with was difficult to deal with. And it
Gears?
required a lot more documentation than I ever thought it should have, but that's my opinion. Certificate of insurance. Update in regard to the requirement for MERT implementation.
That's John's.
That's John.
Yeah,
Did you get this, sir?
more paperwork.
You're gonna require, they're gonna require a copy.
Oh, the COI. Yeah, I put it to Kathy. I put it to Kathy and Tammy. Tammy, I saw your email. They want us to go out and fill out a form to request the COI, but they can't give us a COI right now. The system's down. They can't give anyone a COI.
That's not gonna hinder us.
Correct. Now, did you request it on the website or are you having me request it on the website that they're, you did? You put a physical request on the website? Thank you. Sorry.
This is,
gonna- Time it down.
2025 boundary and annexation survey. I usually get the emails for this. I did not get that this year. The US Census Bureau is now conducting the 2025 boundary and annexation survey. And we are required to fill that out.
You'll have that done tomorrow.
I'll check my email. I'll take that one back with me. And make sure that I indeed did not get that I don't believe I did.
Might have come when you were having your
Been
surgery.
dealing it
Probably came when you were
last
having
10
your
years,
surgery.
so
You know what to do.
yeah.
Paste.
writing a letter of resignation.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, who was resigning now?
CBA.
Andrew Nicholas. Nichols, excuse me.
Yeah, she stepped down from the
He was the
ZBA. It's
emergency
Nikki
planner
filled
for the
in.
town and he took a new leadership role in AOT in Enosburg, so it doesn't leave.
To the town of Bakersfield Select Board, I'm writing this letter of resignation for the position of town emergency planner. Due to a promotion at work, I no longer have the time to fulfill this position. Please accept this letter of resignation on my behalf.
So who's filling in, Todd?
What's that?
Oh, I'll make a motion to accept the resignation.
Seconded?
Motion's been made and seconded to accept this resignation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Todd, has anyone
Ford and
talked about stepping up and taking that role?
A name came up with the last name of Cribb, who did it for a while, Sam.
Sam?
I don't
You wanna
know
talk to
now if
Sam?
He would be interested
I
now that
think
he's not
if
doing
the
this.
right person
Yeah.
approached him, he would say yes.
What's the date
Why
today?
it's probably not.
Today's the 13th.
So if I brought him down to the fire station and there was a little Larry special
Little
elixir.
yeah.
Okay. All right. So somebody's going to ask Sam? Thank you. What's that?
Andrew Nichols. He took it from
That's a
Sam.
lot of mail.
He
You know,
took
every
it
time
from
we're going to
Sam.
do things busy wise, everybody shows up and we get 6 pounds of mail.
I think these are both in the Nikki, you put them in that as the Conservation Commission.
Oh, they went into the wrong.
And John, the reason the
Should
fire
be-
department, it's hard for us to do it, any of us, because we're involved in a lot of times in the response.
They may be
Or the planning of, to an
already in there,
emergency.
but I'm
So
not sure.
we're
I get it.
busy at the time these things happen.
I got you. No.
Better, I mean, we can, if anyone out there listening to the minutes is interested in the job,
Yeah, if
let
I
us
think-
know.
I put them in here. I think they're in there too.
Something on the town.
Some more MERP.
More.
We saw them congratulating us.
Yep.
The MERP pile. The MERP now.
2024 equalization study results.
Let me do some research and I'll send you what it is. So Lance, I'm gonna fill out something, give Tammy a little information. We're gonna put it on the town crier saying anyone interested, here's what the job is.
Thank you very
I
much.
think that's the thing we should be doing now is
Yep.
putting stuff out there, let people have a chance to look.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good point.
This letter serves as notification of the results of the property valuation and review of 2024 equalization study. Every year, we are required to certify the equalized education property value and coefficient of dispersion for each Vermont town. This letter also communicates the common level of appraisal for your town and explains how it will impact your homestead or non-homestead education taxes. So our education grand list, 122 million and a half thereabouts. Equalized education is 178.25 million. Common level of appraisal. Not looking good, guys.
What are we at?
68.68%.
Yep.
It goes down every year, right?
Yeah, it never goes up. Because they keep valuing the houses higher and higher.
Statewide adjustment is 72%.
Yeah.
2024 applied to your tax rates is 94.91%.
Yeah, I think they're trying to balance things out until, because they know everybody behind that or your appraisals are, they're trying to balance. That's the.
More Horn.
What was last year's?
Maura Horn, I am writing to formally resign my position on the Bakersfield Zoning Board of Administration effective immediately. After careful consideration, I have come to the conclusion that my lack of training and experience in zoning and planning matters make it difficult for me to contribute effectively to the important work of the board.
Who's that?
While I hold a deep respect for the role the board plays in our community's development, I believe it is in the best interest of both the board and the town of Bakersfield that someone with proper expertise and qualifications take over my position. I feel that my limited knowledge in this area prevents me from making the informed decisions necessary to serve the public effectively. I want to express my sincere appreciation for the opportunity to serve, and I remain grateful to for the support and cooperation I have received from my fellow members and the community. Entertaining motions.
Who's that from?
Maura Horn.
Maura Horn.
She's on the ZBA with us.
No, I just
Make a
wanted to.
motion to accept it.
I'll second that motion.
Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Hi.
I would say that she has stated very clearly what the issue is, that the lack of training or the lack of knowledge, it's a far more complex job than any of us really realized.
You just can't walk off the street and do
No.
it. That's for sure. And that was the assumption that anybody could fill into a spot and take care of it. And
The problem in a small town.
yeah,
But this
there are
in
trainings.
particular is-
There are training courses. I think VLCT has some that would help and absolutely, whether it's a ZBA survives or even the planning commission takes over, training is
that training
warranted.
needs to be-
Yeah. Yeah, definitely warranted.
Put on a thing for your zoning board then.
Upcoming funding opportunity, Vermont diesel emissions reduction financial assistance.
You want electric?
Yeah, we would like $32,000 back, please.
I think we covered that one. You want the electric truck or not? Yeah, we covered that one.
Why put it back in there?
Bring the Special folder.
Why put it back in there? It can go into the old sliding folder.
Yeah.
You can have all the MERP.
2024 ethics and conflicts of interest changes. Oh. Good boy. For those who wish to review this,
To highlight the change.
Do we get an do we get to say we don't want to review it, or is it, it's probably mandatory?
it's mandatory.
something we need.
Yeah.
Is it something we could all just have a copy of and do on our own time rather
Yeah,
than?
that's what I'm thinking.
I think it's a good thing. No, it's ethics.
Is there a site we can go to and look at?
On the.
That's what I'm saying, yeah. Is there?
Oh, that's-
Towns will have that, I'm sure.
Basically, it states that Act 171 became law on June 10th, 2024.
71?
And drastically changes the ethical regulatory landscape for municipalities. It removes the municipal authority to enact conflict of interest prohibitions tailored to address the specific needs, concerns, size, and values of their municipalities, and replaces that authority with a new top-down, one-size-fits-all statewide municipal code of ethics. And thereon goes to describe.
Where have I heard that before?
Red
That sound like a government thing?
flags fine all over the place.
All right, so it's Act
That goes back in, yeah.
Okay, I'll review.
I think
that.
we need to make, can I see that? I think we need to make copies of that. Just hand it out if it's all written out.
Oh, this is, that goes with that. It's a training tracker.
There you go.
So you have to have training.
Yeah, we have to have training.
And, as of January this year, I believe. The chairman of the select board who's required to take
By September,
pardon?
I think it's by September.
Oh, I think it's earlier than that.
Is it?
I think Josh is aware of that. It's
Yeah.
come up that
Josh
way.
did talk, yeah, we talked about it last meeting. A little bit,
A little.
but it's only the chair, right?
That is correct. As of
Right.
the last change that I read, yes, it was just the chair. Pedestrian grant commitment form,
Isn't that the crosswalk?
yes. I'm emailing this to you again, as I have not had confirmation of receipt. Please let me know you have received this submission successfully. The signed project commitment form is attached below. I'm sure Josh signed this.
Isn't coming back.
When's it dated?
Tammy, did this get sent in? It's the acceptance of the grant for the crosswalk sign.
Yes. I think it's even what's on there saying they got it. I had my comfort on.
Well, you did highlight it. And it does say, oops, we got it, but I just want to make sure that you send it. Would you speak to that, please?
I just want to confirm they had everything they needed, because I haven't heard it for so long.
Well, let's see. New budget years, new people, don't take a while. I'm gonna stick the original of this boundary and annexation survey back in here, gonna make a copy for myself, so I remember. So we must bring all that and when you can make. Yeah. Josh, where the hell are you? I don't think he's gonna be here. Ready, Don? Ready, You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's easier to look at.
Look down and see it.
What we budgeted.
So according to this, we have to make this work by September 2025. September 2025. The code of ethics, the municipal code of ethics must be on our website. To be, or make such information available upon request if we do not have a website. A copy of the code of ethics. The posting must include the following: a copy of the code of ethics you find in Word and PDF versions. Procedures adopted by the municipality for the investigation and enforcement of complaints that allege a municipal officer has violated the municipal code of ethics. Any supplemental or additional ordinances, rules, and personnel policies regarding ethics adopted by a municipality. Whistleblower protection. So this says we all have to, if I'm right, looks like we all have to take this training by 2020. It's September 2025.
Oh, here.
And we have to, the municipalities, legislative body, select board, et cetera, must designate either an employer or one of its own members to serve as the ethics liaison to the State Ethics Commission within 30 days of January 1st, 2025. So, oh no, man, I took on MERP. Just saying, I think it's, it doesn't exactly.
Make sure the select board chair watches his mouth.
Yeah.
And then there's assign a municipal officer or body designated at the complaint recipient to receive complaints alleging violations of the municipal code of ethics. Ethics training requirements. Funny, we had to put somebody in charge of the ethics by January 30th, 2025. However, training is not required until on or before September 30th, 2025, 9 months after. Yeah, you have to keep a log of everyone who's trained. Requires new officers to complete prove ethics training within 120 days. Requires new officers to complete the ethics training within 120 days of the election or appointment. And everyone has to retake the training every 3 years after initial training.
There must be an online course you can take that just gets done.
Yeah. Officers required to take training. Chief administrator officers, town or city managers, mayors, legislative bodies, all members, quasi judicial body members, boards of civil authority, abatement, development, etc.
It's all your, it's
all
every
of
one
them.
your commissions has gotta do that. Road commissioner.
So
September, so you're okay, yeah.
we must retain all complaints received and the disposition of each complaint made against a municipal officer for the duration of their service, plus a minimum of 5 years after the service is ended.
So that means you've got to also document that training's been completed.
Every 3 years it has to be
No,
done.
I'm saying
Yes.
initial and follow.
Yeah, they actually have a sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
that
Yeah,
is the one
yeah.
that I think has to be done
That's, yeah.
this
Yeah,
month.
that's the one that had to be done with this.
Yeah.
And we have to keep a complaint and training tracking form. So
Take
I
the
would,
course, Tammy, and then you can instruct it to all of them.
I think what we need to figure out is who's going to be our liaison, and they need to go to training immediately. So long as you're not looking at me.
Right.
There you go.
That's a good point. Yeah. Keep it simple, keep it with the chair.
There you go. They can be the liaison.
I'll do it.
You want to see it?
Oh,
I'll give it to
sorry.
you. Okay.
I
There you go.
think
Just
you'll
pass that
just
on
try
down.
to get hold of Josh here. I'm not.
All right, then, if Nikki's willing to do it,
I am.
Are you
I am,
really
but
willing to
I'm
do
not Ignoring you.
I would like to make a motion that we appoint Nikki Cribb, our liaison to the Municipal Codes of Ethic Board, or whatever that is.
2024, yeah, ethics, statewide ethics or whatever.
Statewide Ethics Board. She's the
Okay.
town of Bakersfield's liaison.
Hey, bud.
I second that.
Motion's been made and seconded while someone else is on the phone. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Just say aye.
Hi.
There we go. Motion passes 4-0. Congratulations, Nikki. We appreciate it.
Bring back the training package, so let's know when we're gonna meet.
I think
Fine.
Nikki's gonna have to hit the earliest training to fit the liaison, and then we're gonna have to get it soon after.
I can tell you I'm not gonna be able to get it done until February, but that's
No.
Yeah,
silly, right?
life is rough.
I bet they
We
are.
only just read it. Who knows how long it's been out there?
Can you come? Are you coming?
Rams are up 10-0.
Or do we-
Oh, my,
Then that's who you're playing at, one of those teams.
if they win.
Oh, we're.
Like,
I'm like, who do I want?
But
I mean, Vikings had a really good record, so
I hear you.
we beat them both already once this season, so.
I need to get up and stretch. and all that stuff.
All right, once Nikki gets kind of perused, I think we're done with the mail.
We're done with everything for the regular meeting. We're into the budget
All right,
now.
we're into the budget portion of the meeting. Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. We were just gonna kind of roll on a little.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna get up and stretch. I don't want my leg is stiffened up. I suggest we all get up. Take a.
I like that
stretch.
idea.
Is Josh coming on? Is he up there?
He's like,
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Well, then I make a motion, we stop recording for a 5-minute break. All those in favor? Since half of you walked away already? Aye. Motion carries 4-0. Recording. Lance, I'd like to make a motion that we resume the meeting after our short recess break, leg stretch.
Seconded.
all right, motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So passed. All right.
Where did we leave off?
Present and future. Lance, let's go back to the road budget for a moment so we can fix that real quick.
All right.
Now that we have the numbers, remember, we needed the numbers from Tom. Thanks, Tom, for supplying them. And what's in the equipment repair fund? I believe that we need, hey, Josh. We just started back up.
Just perfect timing.
I just going back to the road fund real quick. So now we have the numbers to get that to 45,000. To get that to 45,000, we're going to need to increase $32,000. We're going to need to put $32,000 in the equipment repair fund.
Sorry.
I'm lost.
So I went back to the road budget because we didn't have the numbers last Wednesday.
Right.
now that we have the numbers from Tom, I said, thank you, Tom. The equipment repair fund is just over $11,000. We like to keep it at 45,000. We all agreed. We need to increase the equipment repair fund by $34,000.
Oh, there it is.
Yes.
All right,
So 34,
$34,000 for the equipment repair fund.
okay.
And we'll give Josh a moment to settle in. Figure out what he's looking at.
So to keep you in the loop, Josh. Yep. The $32,000 plus a couple other odds and ends bill came in. And our balance in the equipment repair fund is 11,000. Total. We have the total. Yes, I've got my new one. You may have it. You have it. Yep. Okay. Is 11,000. Okay, we're gonna leave that. We took this latest bill out of here. Okay. So this is intact. So what we need to bring it up to
34,000.
is about $34,000. We'll put $34,000 at this fund. That's where we came up with that number. Yep. Okay.
All right, here.
I'm gonna put this in
there
so I have it.
Josh, that's the other folder. With all the.
Yeah, a little bit,
So again, to the second page in the new report that Tom put out today. He told me the 4th of July fireworks also had the PA system incorporated in it in 2023, did it in 2024. So if we want to just keep this as the 4th of July celebration fund, fireworks / PA, then we need to increase this to like $4,250 or $4,300. We have 1,200 in
There's
it.
a balance there.
Right.
250, right?
Well, is it
So-
1,400 or is it 1,226.77?
Doesn't make any difference, the balance, more than.
4,000? No.
Because you didn't actually spend the full 4,000 this year. So
Right.
you're sitting at
So-
the 1,450 is the.
What's in the fund
what's
now?
in the fund at the moment.
All right, so then I'd make a motion that we just increase that by 3,000 or 2,900.
4,000, that covered,
We need to
The
add in,
increased
we need to
expense. That
add in the
covered the-
PA system.
that covered the increased expense
The
of the
300 is
PA.
in there. So it was
Oh, I see. Oh, it was 300 too. It's more than we thought it was. All right.
So we leave the request at 4,000.
Okay.
And the balance from last
cover
year will cover incidental expenses such as the handicap portalet and the PA system. Okay.
That makes sense?
Do that.
So we're 5,400, right? So we'll do 4,000.
Which will cover the fireworks, the PA and the portalet, the handicap portalet.
And then to the right of the 4th of July fireworks, which now we're calling 4th of July celebration, is the public announcement system for town meeting day. If the 4th of July cost us 300, I'm going to assume that that's going to cost us, and we got 225 in there. Maybe we just want to put 100, 150 in there,
Reasonable.
right? And that'll take us, that should cover in case there's any other increase.
That should just go in the general anyway, but that's,
I think we call it out somewhere though, don't we?
we did,
Besides here,
we did.
right? So what I'm suggesting is we increase the public announce system for $150 this year. Add 150 to it. Yes, that should more than cover any increase we're gonna have.
How was that written?
I didn't see the,
That 750 is the public announcement system, was which added.
There was an announcement system I saw somewhere.
Which is the town meeting.
Backside of the page, or backside of the
H2.
general fund. Yep, it's actually written out, public announcement system.
Right.
And we budgeted 750, we were gonna leave that at 750, which if we're saying that this is
we're putting part of it into the fireworks itself now. It's all gonna be,
Yeah, the fireworks.
Of that 500 that you see there, 300 really is the fireworks that,
Yeah, we
right,
just
it's under the
separated
fire-
that.
It isn't on your sheet of paper.
So we can take this one on the town of the income expense budget actual on page 2. That should be dropped down then.
yeah, from the set, that's what I'm saying,
We're
too.
double covering it.
You're not paying that much.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We have two
Let's drop
two
that.
25 left in.
Let's
So
drop
that's what I'm
that to
saying.
350.
Make it 350, so 125.
No, this one here. Oh, we did have 250 left.
Right.
Over, no, that's over budget.
No, that's left. In brackets means we have that
Okay,
left
right,
in the
sorry.
budget.
So,
Then actually, at the end of the month, it says 225, so we just want to bump that up to 350 total. So that would be 125 more dollars. 125. Does that make sense? Who's keeping the master copies?
I don't know.
Did that make sense, Josh?
Well, so here's the problem, is we went through and budgeted everything
Right.
Right.
as compared to last year. Last year, we budgeted 750 for the
Right.
EA system. We
Yeah.
spent 500. Now, whether that 500 was 300 for fireworks and 200 for here,
Right.
it
Well,
doesn't
we-
really matter because
Doesn't
it came
matter,
out of the
right.
PA system either
Right.
way.
we split it though. We've already covered the PA system for the 4th of July under the 4th of July fund.
So we don't need that much under that fund.
This is just PA system for.
Town meeting
Town
day.
meeting.
Okay.
But the confusion, I think, is partly my fault that on the one that you're looking at, that's the income expense one.
Yeah.
The 500 total is still under that one spot, but I discovered it in time to break it out on here with 200 for the town or PA and the 300 for the 4th of July, which is
Right.
kind of what you've done previously.
I mean, we can leave the PA as the PA for both occasions, which is the way it was.
Let me make
That's
another
cleaner.
copy if you don't.
Yeah, go right here.
Josh, we give Josh my name.
Really good.
So you just want it all in the PA then?
Yeah.
If a bill comes in for a PA system, they got the PA.
Okay, yeah, and
Okay.
that's the way it was.
What are you making a copy of?
Because you got my copy and I'm confused.
He's gonna make a copy, so he
I
has
took
a copy.
yours.
Yeah.
It's all good.
You know, I'm talking confused. I got 4 pieces of paper and 3 fingers and I'm trying to catch up here.
We just
I
started
think-
to.
I think
I
we just
leave it
leave it.
alone. I agree.
All right, then we put back in the 750 we had before.
We were talking about,
I-
yep.
Bring it
If
back
I
up
got
to
the
seven
master
fifty.
copy, it was never changed.
There you go, brother.
The
Moving
PA
on.
won't be
You
at
do.
the 4th celebration at all.
Right.
That's what you're
Correct.
saying.
Right.
And the reason I split it out was we done that in 2023, but.
Whatever we budgeted for the 4th of July celebration,
Is
Which
the
was
4,000.
4,000
Right.
okay,
So then we have a balance in that account.
of
right?
1,200.
So do we actually want to
Thank
put
you.
4,000 in, or do we want 3,000 because we've already got?
He never. it
Sorry,
depends on what
1,400.
Sales on,
Right.
whether
Soon
he
as I
spends
work
the
the
four
work same
five,
price.
right?
Next year, then 3,000 would really be all you need.
Yeah,
Well,
he could
right,
go out this year and he could.
we need the
spend
portal.
more.
It's,
Right,
we need the porta potties.
Yeah.
$600.
but we have the separate line item for portalets.
I think that's the park portalet, isn't it?
that's the part.
650 for the year?
Yeah, which is split with the.
I just say we bring the 4,000 up and
That's
we take the
park.
portalets out of there.
Put it so I know. Yeah,
Put
okay,
the, restore it to $4,000. I mean, add 4,000 to the bucket. Take because he wants more than one portalet. He wants a couple.
You should have
he
two.
did.
Right,
get
a
the
handicap and another.
Expensive, yeah.
Right. He wants a handicap and another, which is probably going to cost us 900 to $1,000. So,
We use it all up.
so I would say just leave the 1,450, add $4,000 to it.
Alright, what else? Yeah.
No,
All that change, no change.
Too much discussion.
much to do about
Making
nothing.
sure I'm on the same page.
Don't
The only
ask
thing
me
we're
where we
changing
are.
is, the only thing we're changing is the equipment repair fund. We're bringing up $34,000.
Yeah.
There you go.
Which isn't actually being changed, just
Is that what we were doing?
we just.
Because you're gonna do that anyway.
45, which
But we had the numbers. That's what I mean. We know what we were dealing with now.
You-
You know, it'll be more. 11 plus 34.
It's 45.
45.
Oh, correct, yes, yes.
We would have had to put 65 in.
Yeah. pity.
Before-
Whoever is gonna have to try and take the hen scratchings that I got here. And make this into a budget.
That's what I said.
I think that's Kathy.
Yeah, is there someone to look at that right over my shoulder?
Suggestion for next year. we
That's
talk-
fine. Do I have your email? Yeah, do I have your email to?
With just what we're putting in.
Excellent.
Oh,
You're gonna need that.
congratulations.
All right.
So the library sent theirs in.
And Josh, I mean,
Did
you
it get
can
printed?
look
I
at your
mean,
email if I have questions on your head scratching.
So it hasn't been seen yet. I have it, she did send it in.
Where's when I made the notes on last time about,
We want it now.
there it is.
We need it now, right?
I will tell.
What was the other question we had?
Okay.
So which ones do you have there? Oh, somebody added more papers to my file. Is that-
Yeah,
I
I
got
was gonna say, you got extra papers.
This one's yours too.
This one's road.
So this is office.
This one's more up to date road.
This is the breakdown of what was spent in the office. We had a $6,000 budget and came to $5,974.83.
Look at you guys right on budget.
Right? So Kathy's thinking we need a 25% increase.
25%.
Holy.
For
wait,
what?
Oh,
Increase paper towels, ink cartridges. She said we will increase 25% for this year and readjust next year. That's probably the thought was.
Oh, that's her prerogative. So what's the amount she wants?
Well,
Forward for the safety training and equipment. So that changes
75,
$6,000.
88.
85.
So I think what we'll do is we'll roll the mandated safety equipment. So you're talking $1,200.
That's what you're saying.
13.
1,300 for the
20%.
safety, 1,200 for the 25%,
That's what she
for a
said.
total increase of $2,500. What do we see going up?
She was just, what did she say, Tom? She was going on.
Well, you guys, this one, yeah.
I mean, is this just
A lot of toilet paper.
Is this just a?
No, no.
yeah.
Sounds good, yeah. Appraisal, I thought.
And paper's going up plus all the paper for the.
Cost of operation.
So the reappraisal stuff wasn't part of that, because you're sending out a bunch of stuff.
That's the
Your
listers.
postage, the
Yeah,
ma-
that's all listers expense.
The listers are doing the mailings, right?
yes,
Things.
For the listers or?
You know, like, when we do ink cartridges, it goes under just office expense, right?
Oh.
So when we're replacing the ink cartridges in our printer, it's going under office, not lister expense.
So anybody that uses a copy.
I'm not arguing.
no, cost of everything has gone up.
So then this is
Horribly.
the listers.
Oh, wait, we're still working on the town, the office.
Like payroll isn't part of lister expense, you wanted some idea.
Yeah.
Because they suggested 20% increase of payroll only because of increased hours, which we're really gonna try to resist doing. We're gonna try to flex and stuff, because none of us have more hours really. But if, so Tom figured out 8 hours each of us a week at the wages that we have now comes to 23,137, but then you add Social Security and Medicare in there, it's 24,907. 20% of that is 4,900, brings it up to like 29,889, 56.
So $30,000.
I think, but there's also that child credit, it's 0.004. Yeah. For,
Right,
I didn't actually
That's
know
even,
that,
that's even for part-time employees.
that's salary, it's on any wages, yeah.
We're gonna do lovely.
Yep.
so then basically, we're thinking $1,750 for lister expense. And that includes, the Apex software, the network update. I've got $260 here, it's already been charged for 2025, it's $290, so that went up $30. Val membership's $50 a year, mapping update and maintenance fees is like $1,000 a year for them to keep the ball rolling with that mapping update. And the VALA conference, if we each go, that's $75 a piece. So that would be $225, and that's not reimbursable by the state. So
Is that mandatory?
$1,750. No, but it would be very beneficial, especially in a reappraisal year, because usually Tyler Technologies is there, teaching classes and stuff like that. We don't have to go to any education if you don't want to, but I tell you, it's like a freaking ocean and we're standing in 2 inches. And
The more you learn, the more we lose money, not only as a town, but as a town's member. Just saying.
Yeah, we just went from a $15,000 budget to a $32,000 budget.
32, that's what we put in, right?
No,
Oh, I thought we did.
no, we asked them for a number. I was just looking at what we budgeted last,
Maybe
what
that
was,
Lister reappraisal.
Well, we knew the reappraisal was going to increase not only the hourly, but also mailings and everything else. We knew this was coming.
oh, no, sorry. The Lister reappraisal was for the actual contract thing.
32.
Mhm.
That was 13, so realistically, the listers last year spent $3,500.
Office spent 282.40 in postage. That doesn't include the envelopes that are pre-postage. So that's just like zoning listers, you know, the certified, stuff like that. So if you increase that by 20% or,
I think it's gonna be by almost 100%.
yeah, that's what Kathy said, add 200. I don't know.
I feel like that's how we used to make the budget.
So the real question is, what's the bottom line? How much does the office want? 8,500. How much does the listers want?
32,000.
No, 32,000 is payroll. That's not lister expense.
What's the Lister expense?
1750.
And that's enough to cover all your mailings?
We budgeted 28 last.
But we had to get a new computer last year. We don't have to do that again. Things like that.
I don't know if that computer was part of the budget or it was what we spent. Is that right? So we spent like $1,600 on that computer. Give or take, probably 2,000 on that computer.
It was around 16. I remember looking it up this morning.
Yeah.
Because someone questioned the total. I think you guys did last time too, when we drilled down, it was around 16.
Yeah.
Now, you also started that fund kind of in red. I don't know if that makes a difference too, but you were sort of a deficit of 11,000 in that listers fund
Yeah.
at the start of the year, right? Again,
Well,
that
that-
factors in.
That's for the company we're hiring. We had to pay out. So we're making up that difference because we did not realize the money the state gives us should be held to the side for this. We thought it was to be paid the listers. So it's like kind of in that catch-22 scenario.
Yeah.
So we have to make that money back, make it up. How does what get paid back?
I think the term is 5 years, wasn't it, or was it 3?
I can't remember, but where does that come from? Like, is that one of the expense? Or is
Yeah,
For that, no.
because the board of listers had to.
And it's in that folder.
So you've got to add that amount.
It's gonna be a tough year. Is-
Yeah, lots of,
The mic's on. turn it on.
yeah.
So you can swear right to it.
Okay. Well. Alright. We have BCC, that's in there. We have historical cemetery, library we're working on. planning
There's
is
my
in
car.
there, zoning is in here. Lister.
Is that what you wanted? Lister and office are all in here. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but the BCC we've included in the general, correct?
Yes.
Historical voted from the floor or voted on the ballot. So that one is just an item. Cemetery is voted
Off the floor, right? Or-
off the floor. Can you double check that in the book and see if that's voted off the floor, the Historical Society, or if that's a line item in the. It's off the floor, isn't it?
Historical Society's on item 13,
Off the floor.
off the floor.
Library,
Freedom Library.
Library's off the floor.
off the floor. Planning commission is rolled in,
Yep.
that's in the general. Zoning is in general. Listers is in general, and office is in general.
Now, not to add a bump in the road,
Yeah, like you would do that.
BCC is requesting something extra that may have to go off the floor.
Yep,
Yes.
that's in the stat in here.
Well, technically, two things.
Yeah.
Well, don't get us the second thing.
I was gonna say, we have a time limit.
No, they know that.
Okay.
Yeah, they're aware. They came in.
Do they know it was
Yeah,
10 days ago?
Yeah.
there was a miscommunication about the need for signatures for petition.
Okay.
I was very
I know.
And they are also.
The miscommunication is they decided they didn't.
No,
get your
I think
answer.
it was just a misunderstanding.
Well, they also would like to have added potentially another thing that's requesting the town to match a grant for funding,
That
but they
didn't
have
make
to get
it.
a number. We told them to have it to us by Thursday.
Yeah.
They had to have a number, yeah.
They have to have a number because they don't have the number.
They're not
They're gonna try to get that together also, which would be
I
off the
doubt- I
floor.
doubt we get it.
So this,
I hear you.
so this one, I have two copies of the same thing here.
Yes.
Yes.
One has written on it, told her to get a petition.
Yeah,
And
I wouldn't think this one-
that one's gone, okay. But they actually have. That's the planning commission, okay, so their actual budget.
Thank you.
Is 1525, okay. So, are we gonna start building the
Yes.
items now? Do we wanna do that? Do we wanna take a book and start at item A and go through, or do we want to?
Oh, you're saying for the grants?
No,
No.
he's talking about Sheldon.
Shall we?
Yeah,
We
this
got
one
what
here.
you're-
He's talking about this one here.
Yep, yeah, I know I have a book. I was just curious if,
Yeah, I guess we
Like, I
can,
mean, if
but
we're
did we
gonna-
finish? Are we done with the budget? We needed the listers, we needed the.
that's what I was just looking
Planning
at.
Commission.
We need the BCC,
Did we get the planning commission?
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We have the
BCC.
general, zoning, listers and office. As of right now, the only thing we're waiting on is,
BCC stuff.
no. I mean, if we're building a budget and we have been very clear that we have budget meetings, we've asked for this 3 times,
Mhm.
better luck next year. You know, I mean, we're trying to get our stuff done, our
Well,
stuff.
They did present the 6,000, we just asked them to put it in the form of a petition. They did send us a request, it's
Yep,
there.
and they,
For the 5,000.
For the
5,000, I'm sorry.
yep, it's right here.
But that means that, what I said to them is that should go in.
I asked her to get that. I mean, it's up to us whether we put this on as a line item.
I think it comes off the floor.
Yeah.
It's got to be
Oh,
voted on.
it definitely comes off the floor. It has to be voted on.
Yeah.
Um,
So it's.
No, it does not have to be voted on. Let's make this clear.
it only has to be voted on if we put it on.
Correct.
The,
We as the board can decide, we're not gonna put that in the book this year.
Right.
The Conservation Commission is under the purview of the select board.
right,
Okay, we approve their requests. We can choose to defer that to the town of Bakersfield, which is what we're talking about doing here.
Which is what we said we would
Yeah.
do, yeah.
I just wanted to make it clear, just
Yeah.
because they gave us something in writing doesn't mean we have to
So-
put it on.
No,
my personal opinion,
Yeah.
again, personal opinion. This goes in just like. When, cause we never made the library file a petition. When they asked to roll over funds. Or, you know, for their
Oh, but that's different. That's
know.
by law.
we
the
passed.
library,
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
library
library
is by
had-
law, because it's voted off the floor that this will be their budget.
right,
If they do not use all of that budget, they have to petition the town or the voters of the town of Bakersfield
It's-
to be able to be able
It's
to
right.
roll it over and use it. Otherwise, it'll go back into the general fund.
no, I know that, what I'm saying is we've asked for a petition here, we've never asked the library. To get a petition saying that they want that put on as a line item.
Because we
No,
Cost,
because
I
it's
think.
required.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not required.
Okay.
I mean, we'll put it on.
I mean, I think if you put it on
Yeah.
with this as a description,
Yep,
this is what they've sent us.
yep.
I don't see how this is really any different than any other group asking for monies.
It is not, you're correct.
Okay.
We asked for the petition just to show that there was support in the town behind.
I suggested to Alice
Yeah.
that if they had a petition that had 20
Okay.
some odd members that signed it, it would
Yeah.
show support. And
I also don't want to step on your toes if you've asked for something as a board, because I wasn't here for that meeting.
it was a private conversation. That,
Okay,
But we did reiterate that with them when they were here
Yes.
today. We
Okay.
did ask them for that.
let's wait for that then. If it
Yeah.
comes in, because I don't want
not
to,
put.
I don't want to have one group of the board say something
Yep.
and then another member come in and say, no, we don't need.
I did that on my, put it on.
Well, no.
No.
Nicole just
Yep.
said it was discussed
Yep.
in a meeting. I
Discussed.
feel like that's binding. All four of you were here
Yep.
discussing it.
Yep.
I'm not gonna come in, in the ninth inning and be like, no, that looks all right. You guys made a decision. I'm sticking behind you guys with your decision to have a petition for that. Question in the corner.
They'd have to do it next year.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, because I said, my problem was, I don't think that we should just appropriate this money as a board. It should go to the town on both scenarios, the 5,000 they're asking for here and the money for the grant.
Yep.
I think it should go to the town and let the town decide.
Yep.
And I said, the perfect vehicle is the town meeting day. We have a capability of putting that in.
Agreed.
I don't think so. I don't
That's,
think
that's,
that was,
that's extremely counterproductive.
yeah, I don't think that's.
That'd be
how-
like saying you need a hunting license. Unless
And
you
then
don't
you
feel
don't
like,
want-
unless you don't feel like getting one, you shoot a
You
deer.
don't get a deal.
What we did the petition for
Right?
was the request to match the grant, is, we didn't say that
Right.
required a
Right.
petition.
Right.
But we
And
needed
we,
an amount.
we told them outright that we couldn't go forward with that unless they could come up with
with
an
a-
amount.
Yeah, I think we were pretty clear with what they were
And
gonna come
if
back.
they
with.
don't make, if they
by
don't make it
Thursday.
in time, if they don't make it in under the wire, I say we wait for the next election.
I agree.
That's my personal opinion. The town should have the say on this.
Okay.
So anyhow, back to the book.
Yeah.
Did we do everything in the lines, Josh, except for the salary?
Except for salary, I believe we have gone over this
Right.
straight through. We did have, we had a couple question marks, but
Oh,
I'm a-
benefits, right? Didn't we have a question of benefits with the plus this year? We didn't go up.
Yeah, that was for.
Tom,
Do we know what the health benefits are moving up to this year, Tom?
Because I didn't even know there was like two different things, until you asked me to combine them last time, yeah. Stipend
by any
for some
chance did you
people,
ask
and-
us, Shay,
So,
about
no,
the
I
website fee?
I don't think anybody right now uses the health benefits, so but we do
Who's gonna
need
ask the
to
Question, I have not.
find
I
out.
might have volunteered for it before things got stupid.
We have
haven't asked.
Yeah,
potential
okay.
people who may not be
Um,
here this time next year, so we have to keep in mind that we may be hiring someone who requires benefits, so we need to make sure we fund some form of benefits.
I know.
They budgeted for like 20 grand. That wasn't spent this year, so it sounded like someone already had a clue that there was going to be some bigger expense in that health insurance.
Well, we were trying to, at the time, we didn't know who was gonna take that third
Right,
spot.
right, so probably had the same conversation last year.
Yeah, well, we had Mark in the third spot, right, because we did fund it, because Mark did use the bettings.
Okay.
So is that- yeah,
Did you want to?
12 to 14, so I say 13 on
Do
average.
we have a budget for the library? Okay, because he's just gonna write them down as we go.
What I don't have is how much they're asking for in direct
This
tax.
year,
I've
2024,
only
the
got
previous
there.
year, I should say.
But it doesn't matter because that's
500,
not part of our budget.
Right.
so that-
And then we spent 5,900.
So that, those are, you have those?
So like this one right here,
That was gonna be higher.
Not done yet.
We'll talk about that again.
we're still on that one and that one.
Just give me the ones you have, so they can list
Okay.
them however they want.
Okay, so I guess,
Stays, right?
one, yeah, 1 through 4 are no change, except for the fact that the numbers on the road work and general expense will change in the book.
Well,
Or do you just want to jump to 5?
no, I was doing number 18. I'm sorry.
18, okay.
He's not on this year, right? Town clerk, we did last year.
Because that can be
2E.
written right down the book. 18 can't.
Right,
So we have a 3-year and a 2-year term, so road work staying the same?
uh.
2A,
Probably
No.
not.
right.
No, no.
We're going to 18.
We're working on 18 for right now.
Oh, all right, I was on 2.
That's okay, that's all right.
I'm working on 2.
Do you want me to do them in the same order?
I don't care what order. they're in.
Okay, so I'll just do it in the order I have them in here. Cat Crusaders,
Money first.
$500. It was on there last year,
Yes, it
also
was.
for $500. If somebody could check that for us as I read them out, just to see if they're on there and give us a
Oh, yeah. That's
What
the
page
same.
we on?
Right.
7.
I'm clear.
It was I.
It was I, correct? Okay. Does anybody see any reasons why we should not put that on there?
I think that needs to be on there.
Well,
Just so you know, if you were to vote, or if you were to say yes,
Yeah.
she would come and visit us. She is very wholeheartedly into that, which is great.
Yep.
Missisquoi River Basin Association,
That was E.
that was E, yeah.
okay,
600.
How much?
give me a second here. With respect for the request of town support, $600 donation.
Same as last.
Do we have, Tammy? Could you grab a highlighter? It would be if I can highlight the number and then I'll have to look for it a dozen times after. This one was very easy. It was right out in the open.
Right.
Oh, look at that.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the problem right there. There's all that money. So I'm gonna, 600, yes. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. Well. This is a. Cemetery. Sorry, the ones that are from the town are mixed in with the ones from outside of the town.
Mhm.
Is that you or me?
Nobody's phone's bouncing.
It's you, okay. Lot more from the town. than from outside. Yeah, that's a good thing. Let's see here. We have the Franklin County Industrial Development Corp.
That was C. How much?
Just give me a minute. There's a lot of words here.
Was 200.
Hold it like this. and we can
We should
both
make
look
it,
for it.
that's a subject in the letter.
Correct.
Last two, they asked for 200.
Yeah, 200 last.
No, the
time.
problem is it could be on another.
Page 8.
Yeah, I was
Exactly.
gonna say, yeah. Could be right.
Theirs hasn't changed for years.
Okay,
Want to scan it while you move to the next one?
yeah, if you don't mind, it may be right now too, which will make it a lot more fun. Here's another one from the Missisquoi Valley River Basin Association. I'm going to assume that is a duplicate.
Probably a duplicate. Maybe that one's got the amount.
No, the other one had the amount.
No.
Northwest Solid Waste District,
Yeah, that was B.
that is a per capita, and they're asking for $1,822.80.
55 last time.
1822 and what?
80 cents.
All right, wait a minute. There's not a page 2 to this?
Not in that one. Sometimes they send multiple also, though. Fairfield Community Center.
Yeah, I think that was A. No, that's County Home Health.
I don't think they were here. then.
They weren't, they
No,
missed
'cause-
last year.
Yeah. They missed
This,
the timeline.
this year they got it in
Yep.
early. They're asking for the sum of $5,000.
Who?
Yeah,
Fairfield Community Center.
that's right. They came in.
They were here last meeting.
Yeah.
I missed that. Was it a good discussion?
Yeah.
Okay.
Invited you to lunch. Yeah, we're invited down to have dinner with them. On the 14th or something, right?
I just know that's gonna bump that way up.
I'm sorry, what was the number again?
5,000.
Thank you.
American Red Cross, 500.
Yep.
Shit, that's what it was last year, yeah.
I think it's been that for quite a while.
A long time,
Yeah.
as long as I can remember.
With all these fires and stuff,
Yeah.
it might go up next year, but.
Yeah.
I think that's weird.
Yep.
Ah, this one is, this is a
This is-
different thing. This is not a town thing, but it is not a
Request. either.
line 18 item.
No.
This is the one that we wanted to make sure we put in about cannabis.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Oh, that's gonna be separate.
That's
Yeah.
separate but different.
Be-
So
It doesn't have an amount on it.
I didn't see one, but again, there may be more to that letter somewhere else, because some of them send us 3-4 copies.
All right, well,
Across the town appropriation, rural fire department protection.
Oh, that's the one for the dry hydrant program.
Okay,
Fire Protection Task Force,
Yeah,
that's G,
that was $100 last year, yeah. I think that's.
What was that?
G. VT Rural Fire
Right.
Protection Task Force.
I think I'd be surprised. It seems
Still
like
100?
it's been 100 every year.
this is another one of those 20 pagers. Therefore, we're respectfully requesting that you include a $200 appropriation in your town budget.
200, went up.
Yeah, price of all the stuff.
What was
FD.
FCIDC?
They didn't give us one yet. We're gonna have to see if they send a second one. That thing doesn't have a dollar on it.
You gotta search the
Theirs
whole
hasn't
package
changed,
to
for-
find
as I
that.
said, for 10 years.
What was that one? Oh, that's the,
Yeah, here you go, Josh.
okay, so that one hasn't. It's dispatch services, so that's a non-negotiable that we have to put in. This one didn't have a number on it?
No,
Okay, so we'll wait and see if there's another one, because usually there is. Franklin County Franklin County Senior Center,
would that be the
Yes.
home health?
No.
no.
That's new, that's not on.
Wait a minute, didn't we just add them, Franklin County Senior Center a minute ago?
No,
No,
I
that
don't
was-
think it's been on before.
it has been on before,
It
but it
has?
wasn't on
Just not
last year.
Oh, we missed the timeline last year.
They didn't send something last year.
That's the one who showed up at the meeting the other day and asked for $5,000.
No, that was
No,
the,
that's
that's the,
different.
that's the Fairfield
Fairfield
Community
Community
All
Centre,
right, Fairfield.
who also do provide services for seniors, but it's a separate thing.
Okay,
No,
it may be just me.
Can't take this course again.
There's no. I'm gonna read this to you. We are asking that each manager consider a small donation or large if you have it, so that when we report who has contributed to help keep our center open, we can say each town is represented.
so they're not giving an amount, they're saying it's up to us. Is
Right.
right?
That's, yeah, there's no number on here.
So I'll give them $200.
Yeah.
Don't be a stooge, give him 250.
Jeez.
225.
What are they?
But here, 210.
We haven't got a choice.
Actually, if it doesn't have an amount, I suppose we shouldn't put anything in.
The question for this, and seriously, how many people from
Do it.
Bakersfield?
Right,
Told you.
yeah.
That's, so he's reading to the next one, sorry.
No, that's.
I mean, is this something that our community, I'm not opposed to this by any stretch, I'm just. Stop, I'm just,
We don't have to put it on. Don't want to put it on, don't put it on.
Well, they didn't ask.
I don't like the fact there's no number.
I would say if any request that comes in from now on, the first thing in the subject should be we're requesting X.
I agree.
And that is simpler for us, and it shouldn't be open-ended like this.
That does not,
What are you looking at?
the Franklin
This
County
is the-
Senior
yeah.
Centre.
And they're saying donate really large.
They're putting it to us to make a decision.
But we have no idea what their budget is. We don't know what how many
Right.
people from Bakersfield go there. We have
Yeah.
Right.
no
No idea.
information.
I don't know what to say.
I'd say skip it.
So Franklin County Industrial Development Board does have about another whole section
Okay.
with an invoice for $200 in the letter where they thank us. Actually, they thank me. They don't thank the rest of
You
you.
personally.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
Geez, guess I know where my tax dollars go to. That was just a letter with all their contact. So what did we say about this one? They didn't ask for a number, so
Nope. Yep.
Should we explain that to them?
Well. But then they come back and they'll say, well, we want $500, then what do we do?
we
It's
say
too
we'll
late.
give you
It's too
half.
late.
Yeah, right.
You know, there's a lot of woulda, couldas, shouldas,
Yeah.
didn't. So right now we'll,
Right.
When did they send the email?
I think we put something. in
Was there a date on it?
It's not, it's a letter.
When did they send the?
this is old school here.
They actually mailed that thing?
September 25th, 2024.
All right, so listen, we've had it since September, guys.
So we-
That question 10 times over.
That does kind of
Change it a little.
change it a little bit.
I just say put it in for $250 if the town accepts it, great.
Well, how about this? Like, any other senior independent living, $95.
Where's that?
Bottom one, K.
Yeah.
Franklin County, well, holy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, 250, I don't think is a killer. Give them 150, I don't care, I just think that we've had it since September, we should have followed up.
Keep on.
Yeah.
I think that was 150
Yeah, with 150, I agree with that. Yeah.
All right.
as a
put it in for
token to
150.
show that we support them, but
Yep.
in
Get our
future-
name on the wall next to,
Yep.
Fairfield, giving them
I think, I think
150,000.
in the future, Tammy, if you're still here next year working diligently like you are, when you receive these and you peruse them, if they don't have an amount, you need to reach out and say, hey, Selectboard's gonna turn this away, you need to put in their mouth here. And by the way, can you put it in the subject line?
Yeah, yeah, you don't have to read the whole letter.
Subject. I think you're mistaking the fact that some of these people are using email.
Yeah,
Well, they can put at the top of the letter, you put RE.
yeah.
It's the same
Ambulance
thing.
contract.
That's separate, goes here.
I just put it there.
You'd have a lorry.
SimQuest. This is
That
just
should
for,
be under the office supply stuff, the SimQuest contract, right? You incorporated that into the office request? Thomas, yeah, you guys did the office.
I paid it for a moment because.
You did the office budget with Kathy.
I didn't really do that. We did.
All right, well, then we need to call Kathy and find out if she incorporated SimQuest into that. Somebody needs it,
No.
well, then
Well-
she doesn't get a copier next year without a fax
Then
machine.
that's.
Yeah, I don't think that's the answer.
Can't send me my bills, you can't. fax
I would
my
say
work.
that goes on the general fund.
Yeah, I would. too.
I agree.
What's
Vermont Family Network.
Not family network,
We got that.
that's new.
Yeah, that's another.
Okay.
I want.
So I'll read you their opening thing. The mission of the Vermont Family Network is to empower and support all Vermont children, youth, and families, especially those with disabilities or special health needs. We do this by giving a strong start, lifting family voices, and advancing inclusive communities. Jeez. Formed in 2008 when two organizations, the Vermont Parent Information Center and Parent to Parent of Vermont, merged. The VFN has collectively served families across Vermont for more than 30 years. Vermont children, youth, and families are provided with one-stop shop to help them reach their full potential, asking for $250.
250?
Put
$250.
it down.
Excuse me.
Go for it.
Cross. And that's a new one.
So this is like the fourth thing I have from the BCC asking for.
There may be some,
Yeah.
there was
yeah.
some copies because we couldn't find it in the envelope, and so they gave us another copy and I put it in the envelope.
And then another copy.
And there may have been another copy.
And then there was that third copy.
There may have been a fourth copy.
All right.
I really want it.
Keep this one from.
This one is from Northwest Regional Planning Commission.
Yeah, 1821 last year, D.
Okay.
What are they doing this year?
12,306. No,
They put 33 cents, I would be even more impressed, but
Yeah. They rounded up, it was
15,
actually 15,
21, like, it's specific.
my gosh.
Yeah, why don't they throw a couple more numbers out there?
Which,
So
what
their,
they actually
their
answered.
assessment, so they're assessing at 1.2306 per capita in 2026. So they're asking for 1567.
Oh, that's not bad.
Which,
Increase of
15,
40.
21, so you're talking 40.
honestly, if ever there was a group that gave
Yeah.
value for money,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
they are
I agree.
phenomenal.
Between,
Again, I kind of wish they would just send a letter and be like, hey,
Here's what we're
you know us, this is what we're asking for.
Well, we asked for the whole descriptor so that we could put it in the book.
Yeah. I don't know who this we guy is, but we gotta talk to him.
You.
Negative.
Another hospice one.
VNA and hospice of the Southwest region. We are not south or
No.
west.
No.
That's
Serving
interesting.
Bennington,
No.
Franklin, and Rutland counties.
Franklin.
No.
Bennington and Rutland are
Yep.
awful far away from Franklin, aren't they?
Yeah, you got like Bennington, Rutland.
Whole bunch of
Franklin.
stuff.
Franklin.
Between,
Let's
frankly,
skip
that
Chittenden
seems a little.
completely, eh?
They're the only one. Yeah, like Chittenden, you know, a couple big ones.
Oh, here's why, because Franklin County Home Health Agency was forced to cease operations.
oh.
So
Oh,
they've taken
right.
over.
Yeah, so that's the.
So Franklin County Home Health asked
They
for
are-
2776 last year, we
Yeah.
won't be.
Yeah,
So what are they asking for?
they are asking for 1.7 million, no.
Yeah, that's
That's the only thing that's underlined and highlighted.
Right there. So is that what it is?
2,000, the exact same amount. They-
Yeah.
So it's,
What?
it's the same.
27,
amount, yeah.
2776.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I've got these written down, Tim.
You know what the greatest part is? They put that on the very first line,
Yeah. and
of the
then-
very first paragraph.
Yeah.
So nice. Green Up Vermont, $100. This
Yep.
one looks like an invoice. That they win. Give them twice what they're asking. Just for making my damn life.
But I think they were late coming in last year.
$100. Oh, look, they sent us, look, see, they sent their.
Bump separately.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Age well.
This one?
Hang on. State insurance programs, case management, options, counselors. Blah, blah, blah. Yep, yep. Maybe it's on the next page.
You didn't have a drill.
In fiscal year, we provide service evaluators. That didn't help. We're writing a request continued support from the town of Bakersfield in the amount of $1,500.
Huh?
Wow, that's a new one, right?
Yeah.
New one.
No, it's not a new one.
No,
They've been
Age Well's on there.
Who is it?
Age Well.
Oh, yeah, they were here, but they're not on last year.
Oh, okay, so they're just not on this list.
Yep, it does say. October
They
1st of
must have
2023 and
missed last year.
September 30th. We've.
Making up for this time.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
I think given that we are an aging population in Bakersfield, that we,
Speak for yourself.
I was gonna say, speak for yourself. I'm
So they-
fucking spring chicken over here.
well, you actually are.
What was that?
Just gonna say it.
You doing that one? I put it in there, 1,500, age well.
Yeah.
Or in your case, 1,500, age mediocrely.
I'd like some guarantees about aging well.
Yeah.
If we could find some,
Oh, officer, but you've been looking at that there, huh?
Yeah, what happened? Sticks?
So I went up to camp yesterday and
That's how all great.
feed the birds and I took the side by side up there. Built a fire and said, I'll sit down here for
Fell
a few
asleep.
hours to read a book. I laid down on the bunk reading a book. And a 6-pointer and I shot a few years, fell off the wall. Beamed me right there.
Did you hear that?
Paybacks for hell.
you see, you're lucky it didn't get you actually in your eye.
Yeah, the thing about head wounds, they bleed. Holy crap, I had blood all over the place.
Did you hear him laughing when he hit the ground?
Yeah, I'm telling you all. Before he hits the trigger.
1,000 for Lucas Williams?
Yes.
Is what?
Yes.
They asked for.
They were on here last year, yep. Thousand.
No, Lucas William.
Oh,
Thousand, yep.
H.
It's on there last year, so we just
Same
gotta,
amount.
we don't have to change anything.
Nope.
Yes.
It is.
H.
Okay,
Now,
so looking at the ones that we had there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first one.
I don't,
How much did they ask for, Josh?
500.
So we have.
who are you asking?
Lucas.
Thousand. So who didn't ask?
Lori's House of St. Albans, I don't have.
Okay,
Vermont Center for Independent Living. Did I miss?
can you give me a number, please?
Lori's House was 1,000.
No, sorry, letter, J,
J?
yep,
J and K, I didn't have those marked off. Anyone else?
No,
okay,
I didn't
perfect.
either, yeah,
Saved us $1,100.
well, we gained it back.
Yeah, I know.
On the 3 or 4 that we did.
Okay. So in other ones here,
Now comes the other ones for the town.
Conservation Committee,
Mhm.
well, just Conservation
Two
Committee,
separate things.
well, that's
See,
Planning Commission.
Isn't that nice and simple?
That
I mean,
is
That's
simple.
about as,
Okay, so
Planning Commission.
Planning Commission goes in the general though, right?
Yes.
Okay, I gotta write that on here, otherwise I'm gonna forget.
How much did they want?
$500.
No, deny.
same as last year.
Same as last year, so good.
Figures Conservation Committee.
Again,
Well, I don't know how many times they can ask for money, but.
Sure you don't need to mark that up by 25%, do you?
Okay, Cemetery Commission. We're looking at 25.
Yeah, because.
Item 12,
yeah.
Yep,
okay?
25 from
There-
went from 15 to 25.
When they asked-
Now, one of these days, you're gonna let me speak, and goddamn it, we're gonna get through these meetings a lot goddamn quicker. Now we know what, the paper right here that says what they're asking for. You do? What is it?
It's 25K for Cook and Maple Grove. We talked about this last meeting.
Oh, your head isn't very good, Dan, because it's only 20.
20K. That's
Up
right.
5
Yeah, but
from last year.
now we know where the money for the
That's just my fault. Feel bad.
Don't even just
But that's because they've taken on the.
20,000.
So it's
But
constant.
that covers Cook and Maple Grove.
Yes, yes, it does.
They did last year too. So it's 20,000, right?
Yeah.
Alright, there's that and that. Those are both. How do I want to organize these so that they actually freaking work?
Here.
Can you give me some paper? Never mind. I was gonna ask you for paper clips. Look at that. Fabric and nickel, I got them right here. Okay, these are all the ones that are on item
Your job.
18.
Colored one in case you want.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
There. That way you can have a red pile and a silver pile.
There's item 18. A through E.
There, done.
Dunsky. Okay, Cemetery Commission. You're gonna take that?
That's yours.
That's not how this works. No, that's yours, because you gotta file all the things in there too,
Yeah.
all the request letters. They're all there together.
It's all yours.
It's all yours to think.
This also goes in the general.
Sorry?
Well,
General. Zoning. That one goes over here. I'm not even gonna tell you how bad the echo is in this building. Bakersfield Historical Society, item 13 is remaining at $5,000. We can put that in that pile. Should I highlight those two or? Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory on there. Well, we asked for them before first of the year. They even dated theirs the 6th. League of Cities and Towns. This is a line item that needs to be added. Okay, so
somewhere.
before. I don't know where this,
Number 16.
no, I don't know where this one would go because I think
It
it's,
just went into the general fund last year.
no, this is the cannabis issue.
Oh, yeah.
So this is a separate item altogether, but. So I don't know if we want to do this after item 18.
Don't you want to put that to Australian ballot?
It can go in Australian ballot. That would be great.
Way to do that, yeah, so.
Okay.
It's a chance to vote on.
So. Put in,
Next to last.
So we were down to L.
The last
before.
item is other
right,
business.
right, but if we're going into Australian ballot, it has to go under item 2.
Oh,
Right,
correct.
but we go down to L, but that's gonna change anyhow with the
Right.
amount of people, so.
So we'll just say put it in item 2.
Yep.
Australian ballot.
Yep.
I like that.
And that's VLCT what?
That
Cannabis.
cannabis.
Now, is that the cannabis, the sale?
This is for the town to approve or disapprove the sale at retail locations.
Okay, cool.
Dispatch contract. Goes into the general fund. Needs to be signed.
That's your dispatch.
The town or city shall pay an annual fee of $19,500. Well, at least we know the budget number.
You put that in?
Enosburg ambulance contract also goes in the general fund. April 1st through March 31st. We're looking at $42,072.75 also goes in the general fund. SimQuest also goes in the general fund. They want 60 months. $12 payments of $122.97. Anybody doing math real quick?
Hang on.
How much is it?
$22.97.
Times 12. Well, it was $1,475.64.
Okay. I should probably write
Freaking money.
1475.64.
1,475.64.
We take it off. Mac volunteered to pay it.
Okay. And then the conservation committee has another one. But that would be these other three. Health insurance. Also needs to go in there, but it's not, this is just a line item that says, or not a line item, but this is the breakdown that tells you what each one will cost. So I believe what we agreed to pay was the platinum single plan.
But who's taking it? Who's not?
Well, yeah, I'm just saying what we need to budget for
Mhm.
a minimum would be 1337.35 a month
Yeah.
per employee.
It's 12 something.
Yeah, 11 something. I feel like, yeah, 1180 or
Yeah.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Times 3 employees.
Well, that's money, that's income. With the 21.
That's $16,000 for one person.
And we budgeted 20,000, and we used 6 last year.
Right, but what we're
Yeah,
saying,
I'm just-
is, we have employees who are close to retirement age.
Yeah.
We have talked about, going to a 3.5 person crew.
A part-time person, we would give full-time
Would
benefits.
not get benefits.
No, but what we're saying is if we went to a 3.5 person crew and we have people around retirement age,
Right.
the chances of one of the people that we have on the crew now being that person that,
It's a possibility.
which means we would,
Or someone gets hurt, you
Talk
put
to
that
Cal
back.
about this, because we did this last year, right, where we had Marky here. So we budgeted Marky. Right, I'm not saying don't budget, but we just had this conversation 35 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. But the thing is, we budget for one body,
yep,
right? And then we have to figure out the stipends for 3 people. Right? And that would be the amount. And I wouldn't budget the full amount, one, just for the simple reason that we're not gonna have a body, hire someone tomorrow. So I think if we just round that to 15, I think we're.
What was it
safe.
at? I didn't,
16,
okay,
16 and change. And that
but we
would say
budgeted 20 last year.
with the stipends, yeah.
Okay.
Run it down to 15.
That little chart of funds within the general fund,
Yeah.
does this need to get added in there so that 20 from last year shows up somewhere?
So it would be on the road account.
But the
Yeah,
road
so I
side.
mean, does that need to be something new that kind of is a running total if you?
I don't think I don't think we should roll that over in an insurance.
You mean the money we didn't use last
Right.
year? I would start there.
I would also start.
I don't care, I just.
Yeah, I think for budgeting purposes, I think if we were to start new with that.
You do wanna roll it over, or you don't, I mean, starting going forward, you wanna roll that forward, or, I mean, I don't think you have to decide today.
I think what we need to do is figure out what we wanna budget for this year, and then we can determine what differences there are. Like you said, we budgeted 20 last year, and we used 7. I get what you're saying, there's 13 floating around.
But
But
some stuff, you just kinda goes away if you don't spend it in your
well,
budget.
it goes into
right?
the general portion of that, not the general fund, but the road account.
Yeah, so you know how things work, I know other than some of the stuff I see here.
He's hearing birds over here. It's kind of funny. I get what you're saying, and if we were talking a larger sum, I think I would, it would be, if we were paying insurance on 3 employees, and then I would be more concerned about it, but. So you think 15 is a good round number?
I think 15 for if we hire an employee rather than that. Because
We'll
we're
cover
gonna
that.
hire on the bottom.
Right. And
I
then
don't know what the stipend is, I forget what we agreed on the stipend.
I don't think we have agreed on a stipend yet this year.
Not this year, but in the
Right.
past, so I can't remember.
So I mean, yeah, you're right, because even if, say, Mac was to say he was gonna retire in March, you hire a new employee in April, they get their 60-day,
Right.
Right.
Scraping
So
in May, June, you're in June already.
Right.
So you'd only have half a year if
That you're
that person
paying.
was to take a.
So you take that 16, you cut it in half, you have 8,
Yeah.
right? Then you're adding, I don't know the stipends, we have talked about
We have-
stipends again.
Right.
We definitely know we have 3 stipends to pay.
Yeah.
At least once.
So, okay. I just worry that. Yeah, I mean, as long as we don't. I guess if,
Don't run
at
short.
this point, we do have the other $7,000 theoretically left over from last year
Right.
for that, so that would cover us even if we did have to hire an employee earlier.
Right, if we went
I think-
15, I'm pretty sure that would cover the stipends and.
I would agree with
the,
that.
Stipends and the insurance of the new employee.
Okay. Let me go back to the road budget.
I mean, do you get where we're at, guys? I know.
No, I do. I mean, this is the one area where I would not want to underestimate.
No.
Right.
Because we cannot be in a situation where we don't have money for
Right,
health insurance.
right,
Exactly.
right.
So usually I would say shave it down to the least that we need, but here
Here's a little more, yeah.
yeah.
Right. We don't know if anyone's retiring or when they're retiring.
So we had 20,000 last year, is that what we budgeted, Josh, on health insurance
that?
for the road?
Yeah, I was just trying to find it.
It's under regular, under guard.
Yep, 25,000.
Yeah.
So,
So we made it 25,000.
So.
no, we had,
15 will be more.
It was 20 last
so
year.
what we had done,
Tremendous amount.
yeah, what we had done. When we went through it is we actually upped it to 25,000.
Yeah.
Right,
What do we have to 25?
The health
Health
insurance and
insurance.
stipends,
Right.
we combined the two and upped it to 25,000,
right.
even though we only spent
Seven.
$7,000, $6,930.36.
Right, so that's why I'm saying. If we do 15 this year, I think we're more within the window of what we need.
So,
15 plus the 7.
But your insurance went up too.
Plus what's that?
yeah, your
Figure
insurance,
that in there.
right,
Not that
but we're
it's a
not
law.
paying insurance on anybody technically.
That's more than enough. Yeah.
So what do you think about leaving it at 20? And rolling the stipends into it
That would work.
I would be
Yep.
more comfortable
Yep.
with that.
I was rolling the stipends in already.
at 16, I know,
16.
that makes me a little
That's
nervous.
not enough.
16.
How much did you say it was per month?
$1,336.
Times
37,
12 is that number right there.
16.
that's
Yeah.
one employee.
That's one employee.
But what he said, but we don't have an employee on it, is what he's saying.
We don't. But tomorrow you could have 2.
He said, you got 2 months waiting period,
Right.
you're half.
You're half the year, so that 16 becomes 8. Then you add in the stipends, and I don't remember what we did for stipends last year, but I'm not thinking, I'm thinking it was like 10%.
It was actually.
Last year we had 2,500.
It was, yeah, it was only,
25% stipend?
no, it was only $1,200.
Yeah.
It was 10%, because last year we were talking, it was $1,200 for the insurance. That's how much the platinum plan
It
was.
was,
Over
it
13.
was 112, not even 10%, it's 112. It was one
Right,
month,
one payment.
it was 1 month.
So you take 1330, you take like 1,400, you times that by 3 people, right? You're at what, 5,200? You add that to 8,000, you're at 13,200.
I understand what you're saying, I
Plus
just,
15.
I'm kind of siding on Nikki's side over here, where if we're gonna come up short on something,
Right.
I prefer it not to be
Anything
the
but
insurance.
See how we would short, we're already in the year. It's 1337 a month. If you hired someone tomorrow, they don't start getting benefits until April.
But we're assuming that our other employees won't want to take the insurance.
Right, that's the assumption.
Well, that's because they already have insurance. Now, if an employee turns around and takes the insurance, but we can't, then we have to times 16,000 times 3.
Right.
Now you're
Yeah.
at what, 58,000,
We
48,000?
kind of split the difference.
That's
We're in the middle, right?
That's why I was saying, I feel more comfortable at 20, but
Right,
We got
Okay.
20 plus
20.
7 left from last year.
right, so that gives you 27 total.
I'm comfortable.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
but we'll still combine the two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not upset. I'm not upset at all.
All right, now.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. You'll know if I'm upset.
Oh, I'm scared.
Everybody, you don't need a microphone to know when I'm upset.
Mhm.
3 blocks away, I'll know I'm upset.
I was raised by gosses, ain't a thing you can do to scare me. Okay. That covers that, I don't know.
I like that.
Hi, that's my favorite part of. Gratifying is freaking crumple it up, throw it in the freezer or something. Oh, okay. So that takes care of line items, yes?
Line items?
Do we need to talk about the library?
We do need to talk about the library right now. Give us your number,
I will give you the number. So
please.
the operating costs this year for the library, where's the piece of paper that went on? It's 56.
What?
Last year it was 1,000. Last year it was 53. It's
No, last year it was 49.
So I'm operating cost, not the direct tax.
Oh.
We're talking operating
Oh,
cost.
okay, you're not.
How much are you asking for? We don't care what your operating
So-
cost is.
This is a question for Tom. Do you know what, or can you get to Wendy tomorrow, what our income for this year from the Sheldon Book Fund? It's around $4,000.
I can look that up tomorrow.
That would be really helpful, because she just didn't know about that bit.
It's probably my
So-
wife.
They're gonna be asking for,
Are you guys still in Concord?
this is so annoying, because I had that written down. I wrote down.
I know, I
And then
know.
I wrote it down, and then I
I thought you
changed
passed that one off the road somewhere.
Josh.
You should- I don't think you wrote in the book. I thought you wrote it on paper. On the backside, maybe.
Haha,
See?
Well, it's a good thing you got Tom.
I know,
Oh,
it really
over
is.
there.
It really is. So,
The investment income we want that's coming in
Yep.
this year, because this is the
yeah,
2026.
Exactly.
budget, right?
it'll be about $4,200. So they're going to be requesting about 52,000, which is an increase of 4 over last year.
Yep.
1,300 of that is the mandated EAD,
EAD.
the.
Oh,
the
AED.
Was it?
One of my work, yeah, one of my work and
Yeah.
that.
Mine or his? What you want?
You want to make sure you're in the camp.
Yeah, I can't. You'll beat up my dead boy. In the ditch. Oh, we're in the ditch.
So they're going to be asking for direct tax of approximately 52,000. It's an increase of
About 3,000.
about 3,000.
About 2,500 really.
Yeah, and that is.
So do you want us to put that down there, 52,000?
No, we're gonna put that number in tomorrow and Wendy confirms it, because it might not be exactly that. We've got to get that.
You had to.
Oh, wait a minute. This is another one of those people that
Oh, yeah.
can't meet like deadlines?
It kind of,
Yeah.
I didn't ask her for the, yeah, we're gonna be nice. People are doing the best they can.
That camera angle's different.
Yeah.
It's getting my good side.
Yeah.
Can you move that?
No, you did. You didn't put it in the same spot I did, but
So-
it wasn't bad.
Tom, between us tomorrow, can we get that number?
Okay, approximately.
That budget, $700 for accounting software.
Yeah,
But if you recall, the enterprise version of QuickBooks that we got at the
Doesn't
beginning of the
require
year
that.
is an umbrella that
Right.
there is no usage fees. So at the time, I think we decided that we weren't gonna
Yeah.
bother charging.
It could be back to 50.
Well, I'm very frankly, that's.
No, I know it's.
we're gonna get it close.
The QuickBook fee? For this upcoming year?
So we got a.
Yes, we did. Let's get there, okay? Let's get there quickly,
Right?
not quickly. Let's get there eventually.
Methodically.
Yes.
Town, okay, I'm on section 8, paving grant. We kept that at 10, correct?
Yeah.
I believe we did, yes.
Stays.
Same thing
I
with.
think we kept the bridge repair.
Bridge repair stays. John, you did some math on 10. It's not 28,000, it's
34.
34,000. Somebody's gotta kill that damn bird.
Yeah.
Historical Society stays. Reappraisal fund, 10,000 was enough, correct? We had,
Well, we were trying to make up that difference. I
We
think,
tried, didn't we?
we said we'd
Did we
put
up that?
10K.
We up that.
10K will do it, that's.
Reappraisal fund up to,
yeah, we had a schedule, but
I know we need to add money to it every year.
oh, that's under road, that's why it's not. there.
Through here.
I think it might be.
That's under here, which says we're gonna make it.
Up that to $32,000.
Sounds
Yep.
right.
Oh, that's right, because we had to pay a certain percentage up front
Right.
for
Yep.
this.
That's a
And we
kick in
did
the
add
britches.
that, payment in that.
Correct.
It was gonna be painful.
Yeah.
Correct.
Not 10,000, it's 1/3 of it, I believe. This is a 3-year term. Yeah.
Next one.
Oh.
That's in there.
That 32 incorporates.
It wasn't, not this year,
Right.
because this year we were covering the payments. Next year, we had the payoff amount.
Right.
The year after that, we would have the final 10% plus the 10 grand to, somebody's gonna
Right.
somebody's gonna have to remember that, cause I ain't gonna be here then.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah, you'll be here.
We're not
for
letting
budget.
you-
Fireworks is correct at 4,000.
Yes.
Okay, shall the town vote to pay the fire
That
department?
needs to
property
come off. We
tax?
did that
The
last year.
next two aren't required now because those are required every so often.
5 years.
Okay, so 16 and 17 can be stricken.
Yep.
Woohoo!
I
Okay,
already did.
so now the only thing that remains, I believe, is to finalize the road number and the general number.
We haven't done, road payroll yet.
Who's gonna take care of two?
Number 2. You mean adding the cannabis to it?
For instance, we know the town clerk doesn't need to be there again. She's on
I think-
4-year terms.
They take care of it.
I would say,
All that.
I think Kathy takes care of that
Yeah.
section. Cause she knows whose terms are up and who's
Yeah.
So the
due.
only thing we're doing is adding the cannabis to 2.
Adding cannabis,
Well, we gotta change the numbers for A and B.
correct.
Right, A and B numbers change, but also the cannabis.
Yep.
Needs to be added there.
You're adding cannabis?
Well,
It's gonna
it's
be
moment, I'm
great
not quite
down
sure.
here.
I don't smoke it, but
Oh,
I'm a boring guy. I'd say I didn't ever smoke, it, so don't.
Oh dear. Where did I put the cannabis papers?
They were.
I know. How did we figure this one out? That's so trying.
Somebody rolled them up and took them away.
They're not here?
What's not
I don't
there?
know, Lance. It's over here. I got it. Right here. Yeah. Tammy, this pile in the red is the cannabis item to go under document number 2. I don't know, there's like 4 different wordings on here. Which one do we want to go with? Shall the town authorize cannabis retailers in the town pursuant to 7 VSA 863?
People are gonna say, what's that?
I don't know what that is
looking
either.
for it,
What's
Jen.
an integrated
This will
licensee
be included, and
operation?
that'll explain,
Right, this'll,
that'll be in the back of the book.
That we put a page number next to each item.
There to explain it.
no, this is a Australian ballot item. So this has to be a whole page by
In the
itself
Australian ballot?
in the Australian ballot.
Holy crapolio. Wow.
Yep.
Okay.
Gives
And-
everybody a chance to vote on it.
And I think what the best way to do it, Tammy.
Couldn't get my sticky.
No, that's
How many
fine.
pages is that?
One,
Oh. So it'd be like the whole backside.
sure. It's just a matter of how we want to word it. Or if the town wants to only authorize retail portions to integrated license operations, should vote on the article as following. Shall the town authorize retail portions of integrated license operation in town pursuant
What does
to?
that mean? We're intelligent humans and I have no idea what that is.
Basically, you can sell cannabis or you can't. Yeah.
Shall the town authorize retail portions of integrated licenses? So it means like you can sell it like that you can't set up a pot shop,
Right,
but you can sell pot in the corner of the store.
right. Yes.
Like this one
Like
is
sell- like
allowing,
selling
this one is
cannabis.
allowing a cannabis
Right.
dealer, like
Yep.
a
Business, right.
dispensary.
Yep.
Yeah.
This one is allowing Jolly or
To sell
Stewart's to sell
Right, to sell it as like. the-
cannabis
Okay,
product.
so I have an opinion about which one I think it should be.
Just put all.
Because you're voting,
Wording we have to use.
this is what's recommended by the LCT.
Any sales.
Just do the top one. It covers
Yeah,
the entire-
this covers everything. Shall the town authorize cannabis retailers in the town? Any and all cannabis retailers? Yes or no?
But does the.
This one says, shall the town authorize retail portions of integrated licensed operations in the town? Which means,
I think that's very confusing for people who are just trying to.
absolutely.
I would go with the simple one.
I would agree.
Kiss, 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 kiss.
Yeah.
Keep it simple, silly.
It's the one.
I'm nice. I don't call people.
So the first one, the simple one.
The circled one, not the Xed out one. Not the Xed out one. I know, it's confusing. So this says put in item 2 of Australian ballots. It's right there, it's written on it. This one is the cemetery's request for item,
That's Australia ballot.
That was
No.
20,000. right?
that's item 12. Do you want me to write on there, item
It's
12?
item 12.
It's a good thing it's not like 10:30 at night.
The table.
Ooh, it's a table.
Okay, this one is cemetery, Maple Grove. Oh, that one's in there twice, that's why.
Oh.
They want 40,000, sorry, I
There you
lied.
go.
And 5, item 13. There, we're checking them off now, let me tell you. Okay. General. We have discussed everything except for payroll, which would require us to go into executive session.
I make a motion, we go into executive session to discuss.
Okay.
To discuss personnel / payroll.
Motion has been made and seconded. Opposite ends, John, Todd.
Right.
All right, Todd.
You already get all in favor?
I do my voice with that.
I'll give one time when I'm in the executive session.
Entering executive session at
10:32.
My mic's off.
10:32.
Gotta record. Go ahead.
Motion that we come out of executive session.
Second.
First off, do you have your mic on?
Make a motion. Come out of executive session.
Second. Motion's been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Todd said aye. Any opposed? Okay, we are now out of executive session.
11:11.
Sure. I've got 11:10, she says.
Would Tammy know where that contract is?
It's possible.
The fire department contract, so we can get the amount.
Oh, it was like 88.
It was
8.
88 this time, so I think it's like 90 something.
Whoa.
But
You
not-
guys are
Good job.
expensive.
About $2,000 a year, right?
Yeah.
Good job. So I'm gonna move on while she looks.
Pay
good.
Okay.
$105.
Conservation Committee. Sorry, yeah, BCC. They have theirs right here in one of these piles. They are asking for,
Are you doing the math as well here?
yes,
Uh-huh.
everybody's doing the math.
Look at Tad's like, I'm doing it. Got 8 people.
You three can't figure it, I'm done.
I'm on fumes with my battery right
Yeah.
now.
Don't
so-
worry about it. That's not going.
They're asking for 1525.
1,500,
$1,525. Goes there because it's been talked about. Okay. Advertising ambulance. Fire department will get to BCA. We budgeted 2,000. We said we were gonna leave it at 2,000. Book fund. There's an expense there of 260. We don't actually have anything budgeted for the book fund. So. But we didn't strike it either.
Awesome.
300.
$300.
300.
Yep. Bergam expense, this is a placeholder. We budget 500. We opted to leave it at 500.
Ready for the fire department?
We are ready for the fire department.
92,404.
92,404. Okay. Brigham residents, we budgeted 250. We left it at 250.
$250.
Yes, sir. Building expenses and town hall repair, we bumped from 500 to 750. Copier contract and lease. Just a second, we opted. So we put in $2,000. Which will more than cover that.
142, 301, right? 175.
Court tax, have we got that yet? That usually comes in. So last year we budgeted $13,000. And we spent, well, as of September, only 6. We opted to leave it at $13,000. Dispatching fees. Dispatching fees will be 19,500. Dog licenses, we budgeted 250. Left it at 250. Education combined with listers, we bumped up to 1,500. Electricity, we bumped up to 2,500. Memorial Day flags, 1,750. Flowers, we bumped up to 500. Generator, 2,500. Grant writing, we did not put anything in for that. We were gonna leave that line item there, but we didn't budget because we're gonna keep that fund.
We did ARPA funds for that.
Right. Health officer expenses, we budgeted 250. Heating fuel, we budgeted 5,000. Internet, we budgeted 250. Late fees, yeah,
That's for the office internet.
that is for the office.
Good.
Late fees, we budgeted 500. Legal fees. We bumped up to 10,000.
That's because we incorporated them all together.
Yep. Lister expenses, mileage, and reappraisal expenses, which we're not actually gonna put together. We combined for 1,750.
You said you guys were going to education as a whole separate.
Yeah,
thing.
we've already covered that.
Education's up higher. The reappraisal expense, we're not covering in this, it's.
Not
No, we are. Why?
under general, right?
Yes,
We say 32.
32,000.
I have 32,000 written down, yes. Memberships and dues, we had at 3,000. Mileage, we have at 750. Miscellaneous, we kicked down to 500. Monument expenses at 250. Office expenses. We had it 6,000. They decided they need 8,500. We're almost there, folks. Outside audit, 5,000. The payroll, all the taxes and everything are all combined
125.
into the 125.
So 125 is the number.
Yes, 125,000.
76.
Planning expenses were 500. Portalets. My eyes are going wonky. Portalets at 650. Postage was rolled into office expense, correct?
Yes.
That's what I had written down. Straight that. Property and casualty insurance was 31,000. PA systems, 750. QuickBooks, 2,500. Select board expenses, 500. Streetlights, 2,200. Telephone, 2,000. Water, 360. Okay, the website, we do not have an actual number for. We had 1,739 last year, but that included the initial startup and everything. Should we put that at 1,500?
That's way higher
would
than it
say
needs to
so.
be.
Way higher than it needs to be.
Yeah, because
You
we're
don't-
just paying for the admin of,
Okay, do you
the
think it's,
1,000 of
do you
each
think
one.
it's a 1,000?
yeah.
Okay. Zoning. He has asked for, well, he didn't ask for it, but we combined zoning and 911 admin for 750. And Zoom, 250. What does everybody have for a total?
419, 011, 75.
75. Oh, it makes
Yes.
me so happy to know that same number.
Which is just under what we asked for road work last year. We're actually over. We spent 362 last year. That's an increase.
Yeah, it's big.
History.
Did you have for a number again?
419.
419.
We're 419.
Yep.
01175.
That's 75 minus. Jesus Christ. Clear out.
Balls. It's like 40, 50, 60,000.
Minus, where the hell was that number again? 362. We just increased the budget $57,000.
Yeah.
Now, partially is due to listers, so if you scrape the 14,000 off of that, right, you're at, what, 43,
Well, the 14 and the 32
32?
reappraisal.
Yeah.
Actually, that is,
That's 90% of the.
that's
increase.
90% of the increase.
And also, when I did the math on the phone, I think we said we went up 2,000, we'd probably do 1,500, considering the phone only cost us $126. So if you round that up to 130 this year, 130 a month times 12 months. If you want to get closer, it's 1,560. Rather, but that's $500, you're not like, we're not whacking a ton of money off this thing.
Right. I'm just now, if that was 30,000, I'd be interested, but yeah, no, I hear you.
30,000.
I hear you.
What did we ask for last year?
362.
So this is a $11,000 increase.
No, 362,000, and we're at
373 by the time we take off the listed stuff.
Oh, well, if you scrape the lister stuff off, yeah.
Because that's, I mean, I just want us to be able to say at town meeting day, this is the reason for the expense. And if that much is listers, we can't do anything about the
Right, we
reappraisal.
have to do-
You promised
So-
our taxes weren't gonna.
Read my lips.
So technically, we didn't promise anything.
No.
Because it's state mandated, it has to
Right.
happen, so
Right.
it's not even an option.
So our budget has gone up $11,000, so 11,000.
Not bad,
Losing.
considering everything.
What is that as a percentage?
Take 11,000 divided by 30,
Right.
362,000. Times it by 100, went up 3%.
Yeah. That's
I
not
can,
bad.
which is the cola.
That's a call.
I can live with it.
No, you said COLA was 2.5.
It is, but
God damn it, we're scrapping off a 0.5% here. All right. Well, okay. Yeah. No.
Damn, freaking.
F the list. Okay.
Road.
Road. It's not gonna be terrible. I don't feel like we've done bad here. Well, this one's, I feel like this one's shorter too. All right, here we go. ATV stickers, $100. See, that's already starting out better. I like it. Advertising, 500. CDL license and training, 3,000. Building allotment, 1,500. Contracted labor, 5,000. Culverts, 5,000. Dental, vision, all those is 1,500. Disability for the employer is 350. Ditch stone, 15,000. Electricity for all garages, 2,100. Equipment fuel, 35,000. Equipment gas, $100. Equipment rental, 10,000. Equipment repair,
It was 34,000, wasn't it?
34,000. Excavator expenses, we don't have. Gas reimbursement, we don't have. Why are these in here? Excavator expenses should not be. Gates. I have gates scratched. Grant aid, $1,000 for Northwest Regional. Gravel pit expenses, 15,000. Guardrails, 5,000. Health insurance and employer stipend, 20,000. Heating fuel, 7,500. Give me a second here. Hydro seeder and mulch, 2,500. Mileage, 1,750. Pagers, 650. Payroll, childcare, health employment, all that stuff rolled in was 15,300.
That's payroll?
That was, no,
Taxes.
that was the taxes and
Okay.
payroll. 215,000. Radio license, 600. Shop repairs, 25,000. Road erosion renewal fee, 1,000. Road signs, 1,000. Safety trainings, 2,000. Salt chloride coal patch, 3,000. Sorry, 30,000. Add 27,000 to that. If you already did the,
That's 30,000.
it was 30,000. Shop expenses, 5,000. Stormwater, 1,500. Already turning the page. Street lights, 175. Telephone, 1,500. Truck payments, 55,000. Water, 280.
Oh, we still gotta take 100,000 off of this.
Total,
519,905.
905.
519,905. No, no, we've still gotta take state aid off of it.
But state aid's been dropping, we weren't sure, and we said we weren't gonna give the whole.
No.
state aid.
right,
No,
but
but our budget last year was 4.25.
Right.
We're at 420.
no, we're at 520.
520, I'm sorry. So we gotta take. What did we say, 60, 70,000 off from that?
I think we could take 60 off it easy,
Yeah.
which brings us to 460. Roughly,
So if you take 60, then you're at 35,000 more than last year.
right?
59,905, is that what it is?
What's 35 divided by 425, 425,000
35,000.
divided
Divided by-
by 425,000. Times 100.
8.2%.
8.2.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody says, don't care what it costs, I want my road taken care of.
So
This is the cost.
now there were a couple spots in here when I was reading down through them that I saw we could make some cuts. Okay. For example, gravel pit expenses. We had in $15,000. We spent 2,600.
Take it down to 5.
Yeah.
So you could take that. That's not permitting. That permitting was down here somewhere.
Take it down to 5.
But I mean,
Which
how
one?
about we split the difference and go 7,500?
Why?
one was
If
that,
we
Doug?
only spent 26,
Because if Tammy's right and we do have to end up paying for more Act 250 permits, it's gonna be expensive. And at that point, we're talking $2,500.
okay.
So,
What are we taking down?
so gravel pit expenses,
Yeah,
we're taking down from 15,000
yep.
to 7,500.
I rounded it up to 460.
So that'll minus 7,500 from that.
2,405. Yeah.
The other spot I saw when I was doing that was
52, so that sounds great.
Heating fuel. So last year. We budgeted $7,500 in heating fuel. We spent 4,200. Now, granted, this was up until. I guess I should look at the most recent one if I'm gonna give you an accurate number.
I'm not ashamed of the 450 number.
Okay, I mean. I'm not trying to make big cuts. I'm just seeing spots
No,
where.
If you bring it down a little bit, it would be a good
I
thing.
just think
$2,700 if you didn't spend this year.
I don't know about the garage, but then rooms and fuel and all was before.
Yeah, it's definitely been a colder year so far, but.
That was pretty much the only spot we could take it down any.
All right. Here.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
This year's balance minus 32, so that brings it under 400, under 500,000.
Right.
So, there again, that 500,000 has to take us through October or to the start of October.
Right.
So.
But last year's budget was the same way, right? So the amount we
Right.
approved
Yeah, so
last
we-
year was for the same.
We
Time
asked,
period.
yeah, we asked for 425.
Yeah.
That number I think came in at like 490. When we did it,
Yeah. We took off more last year.
I think we took off, 70 or so.
We could take another 10 off that. For the state aid.
I think, did you say 450 or 460?
The state aid, 452, the state aid has been pretty regular in the last decade. So,
I think we just take it down to 450, we're safe. Yeah. We're not getting crazy with it, we're not doing any, too far fetched.
I think that's a reasonable number.
And the general expense was,
Was last year, everything's more expensive.
and we were asking,
Yeah,
now, we did take 7,500 off that, so
Yeah.
that brought that down to. Whatever,
Yeah.
my brain isn't mathing right now.
oops.
Were we gonna remain at the 419,011?
That was a 3% increase. After the
3%
listers.
after the list.
Yeah, I think that's. Gonna be hard to shave much money there. I mean, it's literally gonna be $200 here and $300 there, and I don't think we need
Yeah.
to do that.
I agree. I mean,
Okay.
we can,
Are we just gonna bump that to 420?
What's that, 419 what?
Yeah.
Likely.
11,
No, when you have that kind of number, it shows that we're actually giving them real numbers and we're not
okay,
rounding up.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, so. 3 and 8, we're up 11% total across the board.
So would you end up with numbers?
Yeah. If you do it that way.
490 for the road.
Yeah, 419.
No, that's the town. What was the road number in the end?
People are gonna want to hear, but keep in mind. It's still
519,
debating on
minus
the listeners and the reappraisal, nothing we can do.
Yeah, that's right.
So,
Oh, that pulled in, what, $46,000?
Yeah,
12.
that's the amount for the
yep,
minus 60 for the.
okay.
That's the thing, yeah. 60.
So 450.
I guess the last thing to do is look for a date that we can finalize this within the next week,
419.
because my brain's
11.
done.
Okay,
75.
so, what do you mean by finalize, before we say to Kathy, or?
Yeah, before we hand her this and say, this is it,
She needs it by when?
Thursday.
23rd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we also wanted this school budget, the office budget a week ago, 2 weeks ago.
Some.
I think the next thing is get
this
this
very
thing printed,
transparent
and
about
look at
you
it.
can get what you
On
want.
the final numbers.
Yeah, 10.5%. That wasn't far off. No.
The 24th is a Friday,
Is
the
a
week on
Friday.
Friday.
That's
So,
23rd, she needs it.
That Thursday, I
printed
thought, yeah.
one.
so
Okay.
Has to
what
be
if we
printed.
come in like, how long do you think it's gonna take?
Not long.
If we come in at like 6:15 on next Monday, right before,
Just
So I won't be here.
or 7,
I
which
won't,
doesn't break my heart.
I have a game. But as long as you have a quorum, we already have the numbers. I don't
Right.
really,
6:15 next month for what?
For some reason, I thought my brain went somewhere else. Forget it.
There's no meeting next month.
I've just been here so often. I thought
It
there was
just
a-
feels like every Monday is-
We've already covered the next
So,
meeting.
so let's just clarify, what is it we need to do, Josh, that we have not done this evening?
we just need to like organize it so that it's readable.
Yep.
And hand it off.
So we're saying it's not a game.
Do we need to have a meeting to do that?
This is yours.
Yeah. Oh, did you just mix that all together?
Nope.
Okay, good. That one's good. That one's good. What was this?
Yeah.
That one's garbage.
I mean, I don't speak.
They usually print it, Josh, for us, and we see what it looks like before it goes in the book. Is that what you're saying?
Typically,
We will have to sign it. Right.
well, like the planning commission isn't even in here. Where the freaking hell does that go?
So,
No, you said planning commission.
Josh, we're going to have available.
I did that when we went
We
through.
did it.
Oh, planning expenses.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're getting,
Oh.
It's late.
Josh, you think you have available?
11:30.
You can give me 20 minutes and I'll have today.
Yeah, I know it's late,
Uh,
but you're the young guy. You should be up and running.
so here's my question for you.
okay.
Is what
Ask
we
it
need to
slowly.
do, is what we need to do. Write this up, I mean, type it up with the numbers,
I think. This needs to be exact,
Yeah,
right?
and I honestly think we could take and hand this in.
that's what I'm thinking. yeah.
So
And
I'll have that
have-
tomorrow.
This is gone. This is gone.
Yeah.
We've got Lance's, you have Lance's thing for 18.
Yes.
Yes,
See. Lance. Notes.
that,
Lance.
The yellow paper.
The yellow paper and stuff.
Okay. I'm
So
gonna
what
give you
we're
this,
discussing
Tammy.
Is the library stuff, Tammy? And you and I will have a conversation, or Wendy and you will have a conversation tomorrow when you will have that.
You
language.
wanna
Get
doodle
that
a
final
line in
number.
there or two, just saying.
And this will be ready to go.
Cannabis,
yeah,
they need to add in section 2, cannabis question.
then we just need a meeting to sign it.
That makes
And
sense.
that doesn't have to, no, but you'll be, no, not next, but you'll be back by the time, right?
I
About the 8th.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying.
see an IBUS.
Yeah.
Can I sign
Yeah,
for you?
It's still Nick.
Yeah, Tammy. Can you come over here for a hot second? All right. I'm gonna do this dirty, okay? This is the number for the road.
Yep,
This is the number for the general.
yep,
Rad and cannabis. Somewhere here
with the pink.
with the, you've got the, yep, the pink wording
Positions. it
Okay.
can be.
Mhm.
coming down through. This is, Kathy does this section.
Right,
Kathy does this section.
yep.
Property taxes due, no, first.
We're supposed to set that the first Monday in October.
Yes, we were.
Constantly saying we wanna just put it as the first Monday in October,
First.
not a date.
Monday.
Yep.
That's what Kathy.
We said that the last
Right.
2 years.
Keep talking about it.
Okay, authorize the select board to set a tax rate, authorize the select board to borrow money in anticipation of taxes. Do we need to have a TAN loan this year? I don't think we will.
I'd leave it in there.
We'll leave it just in case. Okay.
Just in case.
10,000 for the, 10,000 for the paving grant stays, 10,000 for the bridge stays, 34,000 for the equipment fund.
Mhm.
She's gonna get with you on the library.
Okay.
It's gonna be in the 52-ish range.
Mhm.
$20,000 for the cemetery, $5,000 for the historical society, 32 for the reappraisal fund. That is, wait, so, wait a minute. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This number,
Also appears
yeah,
here.
here. I like that. Listers reappraisal expense, 32,000. It was in the general fund and it's in a item from the floor.
It can't be an item from the floor.
It states. man- Yeah.
Then we can scratch 14 too, mother charters.
Yeah, just because it's mandated, we can't do it.
Yeah, we have
Yeah.
to.
No, that's perfectly fine with me. I'm just saying. Yeah,
Tammy, there will also be another one for the
Yeah,
library
it'll-
because it will be rolling it over the, whatever's left over that's into the cap. It's the
make
same.
sure she has the wording. 'cause
Yeah,
it's not-
I will give it to you.
Okay, $4,000 for the fireworks. See Lance for this section, the notes that he gave you.
Yep.
And I'm gonna put this in here, but don't
Yep.
lose these, because these are all like the,
They will not leave the office. I'm gonna leave them here, and then I'll
When
deal
you
with them in the
remake
morning.
Saturday.
If you can get that typed up Saturday.
You can sign it.
So she can sign it.
okay. I'm giving you this,
Yeah, that was you say by.
so this is all just notes.
Yep.
We just need to meet to look it over and sign it.
But we don't need to meet as a board, we can come in onesie, twosie. Are you saying we need to meet as a board?
Sign it before you come in.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, just as long as everybody does their due diligence in reading over
Reads
it,
it, yeah.
which I don't think will be anything real too crazy.
All right, then I make a motion
Get emotional, or it's tomorrow.
to adjourn.
I'll second that motion.
Motion pays if we stay another 20 minutes, go shit out.
Yeah.
Get double dip, do we get?
Motion has been made and seconded. I just want you all to know that I was in bed figuring you guys had this all done when I got a phone call. All those in favor of finally letting me go home and go to bed, signify by saying aye. Any opposed?
Well. Thank you. Yes.